What is happening, everybody? Just want to jump in and say, hey, how you doing? It's Valentine's Day, y'all. We're going to be here talking about love. We're going to talk about all the intricacies of the heart and try to put us on a high note here, jumping into this week, coming off the end of the week. I've been snowed in for the last couple of days, so I've had plenty of time to kind of sit and stew. But really, though, I wasn't even going to do anything today about this, so I'm going to give it a quick intro time here so that we can give everyone a chance to jump in here and give it about 30 seconds, give people a chance, like I said, to come in. If you guys would share the stream, we're going to be talking about love. If you want to come on, feel free to go ahead and send your phone number into the show via email or whatever you want to do. We can go ahead and take some calls. We're going to be calling some people just kind of on the spot, just kind of ask them what their views about love are. I put together a stupid little video that took me a ridiculous amount of time. So don't judge too harshly because legit, I'm not a videographer. Do the live stream, that's one thing, but like having to figure out how to manipulate making a video, totally different story. So I apologize. I haven't been here for a while, y'all. Been a lot going on, but I got some people in queue that are going to be jumping in here. I'm going to be talking to some kids. We've got some of our viewers and parts of our community have actually sent in a couple videos just asking their kids what love is. And I think that's a big deal. I really want to talk to young minds, young hearts, and see what they feel about love. So I'm going to give it about 30 seconds. I'm going to hit my little intro countdown here, and then we're going to go ahead and hop on with an intricate part of our community, Emily and her family, if we can get them all in there. But I know we're going to have at least one. So see you guys in just a minute. Share the stream, y'all. Let's put it out there. Let's get some people on, and feel free to comment. I want to see some comments here. If you guys got questions, if you guys want to engage, love to hear what you had to say. All right. Okay. I don't know what 30 seconds does for us, honestly. It really didn't give us a lot more time, but we're here, hopefully you're in here with us. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into things. First thing I want to talk about is Valentine's Day, right? So originally Valentine's Day was like a celebratory feast for a Western Christian martyr, Saint Valentine. Most predominantly celebrated as like the highlight icon Hallmark holiday, right? So we got a lot of opportunities throughout the year to tell people we love them. Sometimes we just need a little push, right? An opportunity to buy a card at the checkout stand and let people know, hey, here's a chocolate rose, and you mean the world to me. So love apparently means to be deeply committed and connected to someone or something. The basic meaning of love is to feel more than liking towards someone. So it's real simple, right? Like something more than liking apparently is enough to dictate love. It's a bond that two people share, or three people if you're in one of those trifectas. Just saying. There are a few things you need to avoid when building a new relationship, like being too demanding. It's funny how in the definition they put that in there. Like it's been subwrit into the text that you should not be too demanding. Like, don't demand the heart. Like I said earlier, I put together a corny little video that we'll play here in a few, but we're going to be talking to some people. And like I said, we're going to be kind of impromptu calling. But right now, we're going to jump in with a big part of our community, Emily, out in Kenosha. Her mom right now is going to be jumping on with us. So we're going to be talking to Lou and asking her some questions about love and hopefully get a better definition of what it means to be one of the candidates for the Heart's Big Prize. So we're going to bring her in right now and have a chat with Lou. So there you are, Lou. You're on with us right now. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How about you?
I am fantastic. Good to have you on. I appreciate it. Your kitchen looks amazing. I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
That cabinetry is something else.
30 years we've been in this house.
30 years.
Yep. And Yeah.
You say 30 years. We've been in the house.
Yes.
And now, is that you and the whole fam?
Yes. Yes. Emily was just born when we built this house. So she's just about 30.
Just dropping age on him, Emily.
Selling me out. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but
okay.
Myself,
Now,
my husband and 2 daughters. And
okay.
one of them is not living with us now. She's out in Colorado and married.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for her.
Yeah.
So you married one off. That's good. That's good.
Yes.
I know I'm still playing the stag party myself. So
Yep. One down and one to go.
Well, sometimes it takes a little bit to find love, Lou. You know, it takes a little bit.
Well, and that's true. And it also seems like it's a little bit harder to find love nowadays than it was when Phil and I got married. It just.
Now, when did you and Phil? So you guys know Phil is Lou's husband.
That's right.
Filippo. He chose to not be on camera because he's busy doing Pilates right now. And if Phil, if you can hear me, I'm going to keep saying stuff like this.
He's just shy.
I get it. Trust me. I get shy. So now you two have been married for how long now?
45 years. Is that right?
45 years.
45 years.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Yeah. When's the anniversary?
October
what?
October 18th. Which happened to be Sweetest Day. The day we got married was Sweetest Day.
What is that now?
You never heard of Sweetest Day?
No. Is it a Midwest thing?
Is it?
No, tell me. Is it an exciting moment? It seems like you have
some Hallmark thing. Phil says
it's like Valentine's Day for the guys.
It's a Hallmark thing, is what Phil said.
It's what are we supposed to do with it? Because I don't know about it, and I feel like I'm underserviced as a guy right now. Like I should know this.
You better you have to research it. It's just like, I guess, a second Valentine's Day. I mean, it's a big thing out. It was a big thing, not so much now.
I'm going to research a little quick.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you'd go to Hallmark and get a card and everything.
Get out of here. I've literally never seen a Sweetest Day.
Do they get a card for you? Both.
Yeah. So is it more for like women to like celebrate their men as against the traditional Valentine's Day where it's been, not that I'm being sexist, but it's just traditionally been guys, buying, roses and cards for their ladies.
Right. And this
so is kind of it's diversification, right? Like we're trying to give everybody opportunity. Like
I don't hear it as much nowadays.
It's the Midwest and Florida, to be specific.
So it goes Midwest and then Florida. Those are the two.
That's it. A little separate.
So if you're not there, you're
not in the West Coast. This is the Midwest and Florida.
I never
celebrate it.
Third Saturday in October. It's a day to share romantic deeds or expression and acts of charity and kindness.
Third Saturday in October.
As a Hallmark holiday.
That's what I said.
Hallmark has got it figured out, y'all. Lou, Hallmark
created by the candy industry solely to increase the sales of sweets.
I love that they tell you in the definition it's a Hallmark holiday meant to help celebrate the sale of sweets, yet it's celebrated in the Midwest and in Florida. They're like, well, it is the third Saturday of October. We're gonna have to go buy something sweet because it's a holiday. It's a holiday.
I never even considered that it wasn't all over the country.
Hershey's has found their target demographic. It's Florida and the Midwest. They know where they're going to sell.
Hershey's and food.
Yep.
Everything. Flowers, everything. Yeah. Anyway.
Dude, I'm going to put Phil on the spot right now. Did you get flowers today?
Did I get flowers for Sweetest Day?
No, for Valentine's Day.
Did I get her anything for Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
Well,
that's all you get to see of him. He's in the doghouse.
I bought her.
Okay. You have like 7 months to get it now. You have 7 or 8 months to get it dialed in.
Okay, no, wait a minute. Do you know what punchkis are?
I have no idea what kunchkis are. What is a kunchki?
A Polish treat.
It's a Polish treat that you get just before the day or two before Lent.
Okay. Now, where do you get one of these out in Kenosha?
Bakeries.
Okay, what bakery specifically? What was that, Bill?
It started out in Polish bakeries because it's very much Polish, but now you can get it at any bakery, any grocery store bakery.
In the Midwest.
In the Midwest.
Midwest.
Evidently in the Midwest. I don't know.
It fits. The Polish built the Midwest. So, I mean, you got Milwaukee right there, and that's Polish built. So it makes sense.
But that's what he got me. That's the point of that whole little thing. That's what he got me today, punchkis.
So it counts. It's a heart for your tummy, really is what it is.
Yeah,
Or a rose for your tummy is what I meant to say. There you go.
We've had a rough month, and we've had a lot of flowers in the house, and so we just decided that today, this Valentine's Day, we weren't going to get anything for each other.
That's good.
Yeah.
Flowers are a hassle anyway, you have to just sit and watch them slowly fade away. So
that's what that's true. That's true. But
who wants to go flowers? What you get somebody is a cactus. That's like that's the new
I
rose.
have a cactus that I can't kill, CJ.
Are you trying to kill it?
I don't like cactus, and this thing will not die.
Where did you get the cactus? Who gave it to you?
Didn't you give me some?
Emily.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that Emily got you a cactus that you hate and you're trying to kill.
Yeah.
That's weird. I love it.
They're spiny. They're prickly. They're very painful if you touch them.
Was Emily trying to send you a message? Was there some symbolism there?
I think she went out to Arizona. If I remember right, she went out to Arizona. She wanted to bring me something, so she brought me a little cactus. It
fits. What else are you going to bring back from Arizona? A scorpion, or some lava rock? I don't know. Exactly. So anyway, that's all I brought back from Florida or Arizona the first time I went was a hangover, a sunburn, and a lot of regret. So,
well, that's something.
It's a good story.
Sounds like you had fun, if you ask me.
And I'm not gonna lie to you though, I did have an experience with a cactus my first time too. In front of the hotel, the guy that I was there with shoved me into it, thinking it'd be funny, and bad situation. Cactuses are a-holes. I'll give you that. You're right. Cactuses are not.
No, and these
Emily was messed up of you to give your mom a cactus.
These are little ones in a little pot.
And never do it again.
The prickles are so fine that you get them in your hands. They're painful, but you can't see them to get them out. That's how fine they are.
Wow.
But they're nice.
You know what?
They're pretty. They're just mean.
You know what? That kind of segues into what I want to talk about.
Okay.
While things might be pretty, there are times when they can be little pricks, like a relationship, right? It's a beautiful thing to have, but it can be a little prickly from time to time.
It can
thank
be
you for
rough.
lobbing that across the plate for me. It was an easy segue. I appreciate that. So Lou, tell me a little bit about marriage. Tell me about, now you said when you first started talking that things are harder now to fall in love than they were when you and Phil fell in love 43 years ago, right? 43?
45. Yeah.
45. I'm gonna write that down. That's a big number. That's a really fantastic
It's a big number nowadays, isn't it?
It is. You hit that 7-year itch and people are already, 1 foot out the door. A lot of people are 1 foot out the door before they even get in, So tell me about that. You fell in love 45 years ago or 46, 47, however long ago it was, and you courted each other. Tell me about that. How did you guys fall in love? How'd you meet?
Well, we met because I was with some friends one night, and Phil was at a wedding of a friend of his, and myself and my girlfriends crashed the wedding. So
it fits.
Yeah, we crashed the wedding, and Phil pulled me out of the car because he was in the parking lot having a smoke.
Was he security?
Pardon?
Was he doing security for the wedding? Was he like, you don't belong here, get out of the car?
He was a guest. Yeah. He was security. No, they were out he was out with his friends out in the parking lot having a cigarette, and he
looking tough, looking cool.
He saw this cute little adorable me in those days and just fell in love with me right away.
Okay, now you say
He didn't fall in love with me right away.
You're a real James Dean, Phil. I'm going to tell you right now, you're a real James Dean. I can see you just sitting there, slow puffing a cigarette, like your old vintage Malibu or something, just looking cool. Sleeves rolled up, pack of cigarette packed in there. Just
that's exactly how it was. You got it. You absolutely.
If there's one thing I know about Phil, it's that the man has got Dev on Air written all over him. He has got style.
I played hard to get, though. I want you to know.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I wouldn't go out with him. He kept calling. Finally, I went out with him.
He kept calling. Even after he yanked you out of a car, you didn't go out with him right off the bat? Phil, that was such a smooth move.
I wasn't looking. And I think that's a lot of times when you're not looking is when it happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that's hard to understand, but it's like if you are out there and definitely looking for someone to have a relationship with, I think it's almost like sometimes you try too hard. And then, but it just happened. It just happened. I wasn't looking. I was, going to school, going to college, and having a good old time and not really needing a guy. But then Phil came along and he was a wonderful guy. So I fell for him. That's just the way it happened.
And you guys had never met before that, right? You never met before that.
No.
Now, was this a small town? Where were you guys at when this happened?
It was in Kenosha.
It was right there in Kenosha.
Yeah, it was in Kenosha.
Kenosha is a town of like 100,000 people right now, roughly, right? So, back then, what would you say the population of the town was? And why hadn't you guys met each other before this?
About 70. About 70,000. Yeah, about 70,000. So, believe it or not, the families knew each other, but Phil and I had never met. We had never met before. And the reason we were crashing the wedding was because a friend I was with knew that one of his buddies was there, and she wanted to hook up with that person. So it was, kind of fate.
Oh, well, so you got to ride the coattails of this was your friend that friend the one that's like, I gotta meet a man, I'm gonna go get this guy tonight?
The funny thing,
ladies, we're crashing the wedding.
The funny thing about it is I didn't usually hang around with that girl, and after that night we didn't really hang around that much anymore either. It just was meant to be, I guess. If you believe in that kind of stuff, it was meant.
That's what we're talking about today. Like, what makes the heart draw yourself in a direction where you're going to first off say I love you, right? That's a big step for a relationship. People either what I've seen, what I found, and in my personal experience too, is you either like jump right in, you say, hey, I love you right off the bat. You know it, you feel it. It's just one of those like deep-seated emotional connections right off the bat. You're like, I fell in love with you right away. Or, it kind of moves a direction where you slowly fall in love. It just saying like, it's one of those things, you got to figure it out sometimes. And what made it easier back then? Less options? Maybe, I don't know.
No, but I think it was easier because people were generally not quite as individuals. They were not quite as independent. Okay. It was, for lack of a better word or way to say it, it was the way things were then. You got married, you had family, and now there's many more options. I don't think you necessarily have to get married and what?
Sorry. Oh, no, I'm talking to Dad about something else.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just, I think it was easier back then, CJ. I really do. And it was more of the thing. And like I just got done saying, now you have more options. People in general, not just females, not just males, but there's more options.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily that, oh, I have to be married or I have to have a partner to have a good life.
Right.
Whereas back then you did need a partner.
Now, why do you feel that? Was it just like you said, it was more accepted, but it was also, I think
I think there was almost like social pressure.
Which is wild that then there was so much social pressure to step into the construct of like the norm, which was getting married, when now there's so much social exposure. Now there's dating apps, everything's online. There's so much more social, immersion for all of this. But it's less of a social acceptance to like jump into marriage, right?
Right. And yet it's harder to find a person that you can really actually stick with for 45 years. I mean, let's be honest. It's a very
let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. So you guys get married. You have 3 children, right? Three children. Two
children.
Is Emily the youngest of the 2?
Yes.
Okay.
11 years apart. Okay, then let me tell you this. 11 years apart.
11.
To the day.
So Emily's like a second only child.
Yes.
100%.
I raised 2 only children. We raised 2 only children.
Same birthday though. They really.
You got some real privileged kids there. Some real privileged kids.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Okay. 11 years in, so that's 41. So you guys were married for about 4 years before you had children?
Yes.
Okay, that's quick math on my part. And I just want to
that was very, very good. Yeah, better than.
So why did you wait 4 years? Was that kind of the norm?
We were having a good time without kids.
Whoa, hey, it's a family show. All right.
But I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. Have a good time. Okay, so you get married. Okay, let me ask this. You get married, you jump into it, you guys are, how long were you dating before Phil popped the question?
I believe it was 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Wasn't it 2 years?
Yeah.
Phil, you're off camera right now, and Phil, just so you guys that are joining us, Phil is Lou's husband, and there he is. What's up, Phil?
Hi.
Phil, okay, since you're on camera, what made you at 2 years feel it was time to ask the question? To bend that knee?
I don't know. You just felt like she was part of you.
Yeah.
She was part of your life.
I like that. You just knew at that point, you're like, hey, we put in 2 years. I know this is the one.
It's like she's part of you. Why would you not ask her to marry you?
Did you know she was going to say yes, or was there still kind of like the moment?
Suspected.
What was that? Say again.
I suspected she'd say yes.
Okay.
I think we knew right away, though.
Yeah.
I knew very shortly.
Answer a phone call.
I knew very shortly after I met him that I would probably marry him.
Really?
Yeah. It's a feeling. I don't know. You just know.
You just know. Where did you feel that? Okay, let me ask. This is something that I see. They ask kids this a lot. Like, where did Phil's laughing? He's like, well, I mean, I was James Dean right off the bat.
No, okay.
No, it's the same thing if you leave your house.
Okay.
And you're gone for a week or 2 weeks, and there's something about your house. You feel different when you're home.
Yeah.
Than when you're gone. I don't know too many people that'll say, no, I feel better when I'm gone than when I'm home. Even when you go to work and you drive home, you feel much better when you drive into your driveway and go into your house. That's how it is with, when I was with her, I felt home.
I get it. Lou,
I think she felt the same way. And so it's like, that's part of it.
That's a beautiful sentiment, Phil. I love that. That love for you, that knowledge of that person being the one is like the feeling of like home. Like when you get homesick, when you're gone for a while, like you just want that feeling of belonging, of comfort, of knowing.
Right. Good word.
That's
is
a
comfort.
beautiful way of looking at it. Yeah, I like that. See, Lou, I get why you got this guy. You chose this guy. He's
really a good guy. He acts.
He's like the Pablo Neruda of the Midwest. I love it. He's just you got a real poet's heart to you, Phil. I like that. That's beautiful, man. I appreciate you sharing that.
And he does.
So,
Yep.
how do you make it last? What do you got to do to make it last?
I think I think you make the commitment and you and then you stick with it.
Yeah,
You just
compromise.
have to stick with it.
Compromise. Okay.
Compromise where you have to. You stick to your guns where you want. Feel you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it. You don't look at it as this is a temporary thing.
Right.
It's not
You're
a
in it for the long haul. There's no question about that.
That's what scares everybody. They all think that marriage is, well, if I don't like this guy, I'm just going to marry someone else. Then why did you even bother?
I think I think there was definitely a different outlook. Let me put it this is going to sound funny, but whenever the institution of marriage was developed, I don't even know the history behind it.
Right.
People didn't. My mom just passed away. She was 95.
I'm sorry to hear
Phil's mom passed away 2 years ago, and she was 98.
We're also sorry to hear that as well.
But people, when the institution of marriage was developed, people didn't live to be 98. They didn't live to be even 80.
That's true.
So,
life expectancy is quite a bit. It's grown quite a bit now. So yeah. So
my point being is that in the old days, you don't think you're going to be stuck with some old fart for about 60 or 70 years.
You threw that down the pipe and it turned into a curveball. I didn't see you going that direction. I didn't see that coming. Basically, she's like, well, you commit forever, but forever was a lot shorter period of time back then. So, that's hilarious. It wasn't a 70-year relationship. It was like 18 at best, maybe 20 if you push it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, when Phil and I got married, they made a big deal out of people actually being married for 50 years.
Yeah.
And the reason wasn't as much as there was a lot of divorce as the fact that people didn't live long enough to be married for 50 years.
Right.
Emily's laughing over there.
We got married young too. That was a thing.
And they married, you're right. You're right about that. So anyway,
get married young, knock out the kids.
Yeah, they took the commitment seriously also because even if the husband passed away and they were like 30, 40 years of age, they still didn't remarry for whatever reason. They stayed,
they stayed true to their first love.
Yeah. Basically, they didn't see a need to remarry.
You don't hear that term like a widower or a widow anymore. I think it's kind of that's faded away because
it's true.
That doesn't last very long anymore. I think you're right. People tend to, I mean, I have friends at I'm going to say a relatively young age at the age I'm at that have been married 2 and 3 times, and then I have a couple of friends that have been married 20 years, right out of high school and they stuck it out, Let me ask you this. This is going to both of you. So think about it. So, what was the best relationship advice either one of you ever got from your parents moving into dating? Do you remember like, or the worst piece of advice that you ever got? One of the two, or both, even if you got one of each.
I'm gonna say real honestly that I got no advice from my parents.
I didn't either.
I'm not kidding you. I didn't get any advice from them. It's just like,
I think the advice we got.
Do you really love the guy? Is he a good guy?
Yeah.
And then God bless you.
I think the advice we got was just watching and living in their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, lose parents, were married, raised children. They were together. My parents married together. My grandmother and grandfather married. She never remarried after he passed away, same as on my dad's side. So it's like you're just living in a family structure where your grandparents are married, your parents are married for a long time. And it's like, when you get married, it's like you are just given a blueprint of what to do. They don't have to give you advice. You've been living it.
Yeah.
If it makes any sense.
What was it like being single?
Doesn't have to back, well, this is what you have to do now. No, you've been watching while you're growing up your whole time. I think
great examples that were set in front of you.
That's why it's important, because you're an example to your kids. Hopefully I'm a good example to Emily and Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get married or start a family or whatever, they're a good example to their kids. And I think that's the way to continue it.
You're hitting it right on the head, Phil. I think that, and not just in marriage. I think that all of the things in the world right now that we need to change, all these things that are these major issues, and I'm not going to deviate too far from, we're talking about love, but these big problems that we have, they go back to the home, right? Like we need to start right here in the house and start working on the morals, ethics, values, principles, the fundamentals. And I'm not just saying that just has to say like, hey, get married, stay married forever, but primarily get to that point where those values are really, homebred and they're in a place where, you set a good example. And I think that's fantastic to hear what you're saying, Phil.
Well, I think we were lucky in that respect.
Okay. Yeah.
I know of some friends where they've from broken homes and they try very hard not to have a broken home for their kids. You got to respect them a lot. Yeah. So I think it's people, your children, looking at who was before them and getting inspiration from them. You don't need a sermon to tell you this is what makes a good marriage.
Okay. Yeah. Were you two married in a church?
Yep.
Okay. Did you find the church had much involvement in your marriage for the last 45 years?
No.
In the beginning it did real early, but no.
Yeah.
Let's jump into things. Let's get a little and you don't have to answer any questions if you don't want to, but I'm curious, was there ever a point where the two of you were like, I just don't know. I don't know. Like, and if so, like, how did you, what was it that brought you, what pulled you out of that? What got you to come back to where you're sitting at the table? Yeah.
Well, first of all, everybody's human. We all have our faults. And if you feel like you're going to find a perfect partner, or you feel like you found a perfect partner, and then you start to get to know the person and they've got little flaws and little things that annoy you, well, where are you going to go out and find a perfect person? Really, you have to almost make your list and say, well, this is a person's good points, and these are the, little flaws that they might have. And you actually tally it up and say, he or she is worth staying with. They have very, very many good qualities. And I think that's what gets you over those rough spots, which everybody has. Everybody.
Yeah, it's funny because right as you said that, somebody just posted, it says everybody got a flaw. Like everybody's got a flaw somewhere, and I think I've heard people say that, the thing that binds people together is understanding and knowing people's shortcomings and their flaws and not exploiting them. You know what I mean? And
that's true. Right.
And I think that's where it's a safety deposit box. I found, and I know in my past relationship, I was engaged at one point, and that was one thing we talked about, was that like we were kind of like a safety deposit box in each other's hearts, where you could give somebody all of your secrets, all of your pain, all the things that like you were carrying on your own, and you entrusted someone to carry that safely. You know, they're two keys, just you and them. And you knew that they were going to, like, you're going to argue, you know, and might be times when you're wrong and they're going to have to let you know, like, hey, you're wrong, even if you're arguing with someone else. But those things, those important things, those key components that make you human, like our humble falterings, they keep those safe for you, you know, and so you don't have to carry that burden alone. I think that's beautiful that, you know, and you pick them up. Yeah, I'm sure you pick up more as you go, right? Like, you know, I'm sure in 45 years, you guys have probably discovered, you know, some new traits about each other that you're like, okay, that's a new one, and I don't know how I feel about it, but we have to work through this one.
I think the basic person doesn't change. The character of the person doesn't change, but yet there's things about a person that can change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not that they're a bad person or a good person and they change back to not a bad person, not a good person. It's just that you can change, but not your true self. The real heart of you doesn't change. That's what I mean to say. I don't know if I said that right, but
no, my mother told me once at a young age, and I'm gonna be impromptu calling her, so I'm sure she's gonna be excited to get a call, not know that she's gonna be live. But she said,
back though, she expects you to give her these little.
she always loves it when I throw her on the stream and don't tell her about it. But she said to me once, she was like, CJ, your personality will entertain, but your character will sustain. And I think that's something that like it carried with me forever. And I didn't understand at a young age, but I figured out later as I got older, like your personality will change. You know, there'll be times when you're kind of an a-hole. There's going to be times when you're just super entertaining and people love being around you. But the ones that stay with you are the ones that see your character, and they understand that who you are is what you are is who you are, and the core values there, like you talked about, Lou.
That's
those things that make you who you are.
Yeah.
And so
it's a great way of saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that's a big deal. And maybe people have stopped looking at character, and they're spending more time looking at that personality. You know, they fall in love with the personality.
That's a good point.
And they forget that it's the character, those moments, like Phil did. You know, Phil said he gave it 2 years. You know, he gave it 2 years, and he knew. He was like, all right, this is it. You know, Lou, you're my boo forever. We're doing it. And he knew, right? He knew, and he was like, all right, because I'm sure at that point in 2 years, Phil, you'd probably seen Lou's character. You knew that she was a woman of substance that would make it through, that would endure, that, you know, that I'm sure, Lou, you felt the same way about Phil, you know, and someone else told me once, and I think it kind of carried through, is that you can pick the person, you can't pick the problems. You have to pick the person to go through the problems with, right? And I think that
makes
after you give it some time, right, you know, like, all right, cool, we've gone through some things together, and there's going to be more that's going to happen. Life's going to throw you problems, right? I'm sure, like you said, in 45 years we were talking, I'm sure there's plenty of things that have come up that you didn't expect. Just becoming adults, I'm sure, you know, like having to learn how to like become adults and have kids and buy a house and, you know, live in the Midwest. You know what I mean? Like that sometimes can be an endurance factor in its own, you know. But, not that I don't have a lot of love for the Midwest, but y'all are strong. I'll tell you that right now. But it's beautiful that you've found that you can go through all those problems with somebody, you know, and you have that person that you can trust to help you go through it, and you know, carry you when you're weak, you know, that type of thing.
And
What's
the love develops different. It develops over your marriage too. In the way you start out, it's I don't want to use the word passionate, but it's hotter. Let's put it that way. It's hotter. And then as the more you're married, the more you get to know the person, you understand them, and the love, it changes. I don't know how to explain it, but the love changes to a different form. It's still there, but it changes. And if you're married to someone for 10 years or married even maybe for 20 years, you don't understand what it means to be with a person for 45 years. The development of the love, it evolves to something different. Let me put it that way. Yeah. And it's really hard to put it into words, CJ. It really is.
Honestly, I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job of doing just that, though. I love the sentiment that Phil threw out about it just being a feeling like home, you know. And this is something that's hit me personally in a lot of the travels that I've had in the last year. You know, there's been a lot of unrest. There's been a lot of crazy situations I've been around. And I found myself feeling really homesick at times. And it hasn't really been because I've moved since in the last year. I've had to move, you know, to where I'm living now. And but I found myself feeling very homesick. And a lot of times it was just for this community here. You know, I was like, man, I really need to be involved, because I knew there was an embrace there. You know, there was a sense of security, and there was a familiarity and a support there where it was almost like an effortless love, right? Where you knew that they were going to lift you up, you know, at times when you were feeling down, but it didn't have to do with the physical location. So Phil, I love what you said there about it being, you know, it's something in your soul that says, hey, this is home, you know, that, and it goes back to that. I'm sure everyone's got it. You probably have it in your house somewhere. Home is where the heart is, right? You got that little cross stitch thing somewhere. It's in the house. You guys have one, I bet.
No, we don't have one.
I'm going to cross stitch you one. I'm going to send it to you. I've never cross stitched in my life, but I'm sending you one. Home is where the heart is, you know, and I'm going to quote Phil right there. It's just going to be Filippo is going to be right at the bottom there. It's going to be you. You're getting all the credit for that one, Phil. And then you're going to start collecting royalties for everyone else that's got one. So it's going to work out. It's going to work out. Okay. So moving forward, let's say what's the best advice? And I know we've talked about it, but if you had to, like, let's say Emily, who's off camera over there, is sitting down and she's like, Dad, Mom, I met the guy or the gal or whomever. I have to be appropriate here. I get attacked if I don't say the right thing. I met the person, we're going to say. Emily, there's nothing to do with you. I'm just saying this for everybody. So I met the person. And Lou, Phil, you guys are sitting down and there's that piece of advice, you know. What is it that you would say that Emily needs to hear stepping into the relationship? Like, all right, you made the choice. You think this is the one. Phil, what are you going to tell her?
Okay.
I don't know. Really, I mean,
who really knows, right?
We'll get to that point. So we want
I would tell her that if a person respects you and treats you well and puts you not necessarily before him or herself, but if you have a person who is not selfish, let's put it that way, and that is the kind of person that you have to look for, but it's also the kind of person you have to be.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, she's right. I mean,
You
probably, I would tell her same thing. First of all, if you love the guy or girl, whoever, if you love them,
so you're catching on. Otherwise, you agree.
You feel good with them. And the other thing is, you know, how do they treat you? And that's important nowadays.
Yeah.
but you have to reciprocate. You have to
It's
give
like,
that back.
You know, there was, I don't know, I'm old fashioned, but it's like you treat others like you want to be treated. And that's what I would say. Does he treat you well? Do you want to treat him well? Right.
That's
how do you feel when he's with you?
That's what
and you're with him.
Yeah.
In
preparation for doing this segment, which, you know, it's crazy how much stuff goes into just trying to I made this little 5-minute video, but I watched hours of video with kids, you know, and I'm watching all these videos with these little kids, and that literally was 2 out of 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 when you ask them, you know, what love is, you know, and a lot of them said it's someone that, you know, that will treat you the way you treat them, you know, and they talk a lot about reciprocation and about mutual validation, but they don't really have that terminology in their lexicon of terms. But it's wild at a very young age that these kids, they're privy to what it takes to make what love is, right? Mm-hmm. Without having to be inundated with a bunch of explanation. There's some kind of like basic simplicity that makes love what love is, right? That intrinsic just connection to a person, a thing, a place, an animal, you know. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't just put in loving moments in YouTube, or you're going to spend 3 hours just crying your eyes out watching animals loving on people, or like, you know, these like service animals in hospitals. I'm telling you guys, right? Seriously, y'all, I spent probably 4 hours just crying my eyes out yesterday watching videos, little kids. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
What'd you look up, CJ?
I'm not going to tell you because it'll.
Oh, loving moments. You said loving moments.
Loving moments. I'm going to tell you, like, if I looked in my search engine right now over here, like in my what is love, children explaining love quotes, what is love in a relationship, what is love for you, all about love in a relationship, animals in love, children loving animals, like, and then I ended up watching videos on you know, these kids that are getting to see their mothers for the first time, you know what I mean, like getting glasses that actually work, or getting like the conical implants or whatever, so they can hear for the first time. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, because we mentioned weddings, I watched this video and I broke down. It was a woman whose son had passed away, and she left a chair open in the front of the congregation for her son who had passed away. She didn't know that her fiance had set up someone to occupy that chair. When her son passed away, he was an organ donor, and his heart was actually donated. It was a perfect fit for another person 3,000 miles away. So this man walks up and sits down in the chair, right? And she stepped back and she didn't really know who it was. And then he leans in and he tells her, he was like, this is Michael. I think this is Michael's heart, you know, and he's here to be with you for your day. You choked up thinking about it, right? And then they brought him up and put him in a jacket and had him stand in line where her son would have stood. And then she got a chance, she put on the stethoscope, and she got a chance to listen to her son's heart. And while they were dancing, I'm talking, you guys, I was done. Like, I was just like, I can't do this. Bawling my eyes out. I'm like, oh my God, it was crazy. It was crazy. But it was beautiful moments. But it really just came down to, you know, love, which is good, because I deal with a lot of like the haters, if you will, in this world of social interaction. But it's great when you have these moments where you get to see like these loving moments and these beautiful exchanges with people. It was incredible. You know, I even saw one where they had a service horse. I'm not kidding. This is a service horse.
Yeah.
A wild like stallion. And they bring it into hospitals. And these are people that are in a hospice type situation. And it walks the hallway, and they let it pick what room it wants to go into. And they said it has like a sixth sense, and it wandered into this one room. And the video I watched was this man who was rapidly fading away, and he had a tough time communicating with the medical staff. And this horse came in, and just as loving as can be, was just kind of like, you know, nudging him, and they locked eyes, and he starts crying. And I'm telling you guys, I am as soft as it gets when it comes to matters of the heart. And it just was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful moment. So if you guys want an opportunity, I'm telling everyone that's watching right now, or anyone that's, you know, may watch this later, take a moment and just pull up anything about love. You know what I mean? Google it, whatever it is, go into YouTube.
And isn't that why it's really hard sometimes to put it into words, because there's so many aspects of it.
Thank you. I think that's really what it is. Like, it isn't something you can verbalize, you know, you can't really.
Not always.
And which is why I loved it when they were talking to the kids, because they'd ask these kids, like, what is love? And they were like, well, I don't know. And I have in this video, and I'll show you guys later, this little girl, she's 3 years old, had some medical issues. And I watched 1 or 2 videos about her. And then I watched not an interview, but a segment that her mother was doing with her. And she was asking her what she wanted to be when she grew up. And she had some cute answers. You know, she was like, you know, I want to be Ariel from Little Mermaid when I grow up. And she thought that was cute. She was like, well, what if you didn't have flippers for feet? You just had regular legs. What would you want to be? She was like, I want to be Ariel as a human. I was like, okay. She set on that. But then she said, last question, what is love? And the little girl stopped and she just said, God. And she was like, wait, what? What is love? She was like, God. A little 3-year-old. And her mom started crying. And I was just like, what? I mean, you could tell that wasn't coached. It was just the best way to describe it was God. And even one of the viewers that we've got right here said the same. God is love.
All the mountain babes.
And there it is. And I think that some of the most amazing and beautiful answers that you can get, some of the simplest ways to look at things, is ask a child, you know? And so I spent a lot of time, and I'm going to be interviewing some, my niece and nephew here in a little bit, asking them. They don't know I'm going to be calling them yet because mom and dad are at dinner. And they were going to be on the show too. But then mom, Tatiana, was like, I'm not doing it. We're on it. This is our Valentine's Day. CJ, you can't be putting us on the show again. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I get it. But your kids are at home. So I'm going to be calling Juju and Taj. We're going to talk to them. But yeah, and you ask kids, and I have some folks that I put together in this video that are in their hundreds, you know, 104, 105, 103. And the answers in that huge delta of 100 years are almost exactly the same.
They're always,
and it's beautiful to see that, like, the fundamentals of what defines love transcend generation upon generation upon generation, you know, and it doesn't have to be something you verbalize. It can really simply just be, you know, something you feel, you know, like sitting there smoking a cigarette at a wedding, looking cool, a leather jacket, some rolled up jeans, some cool boots, leaning against your Malibu, just looking the part, Phil. And you just know, right? You just know. It's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. Well, I really appreciate you two taking the time to talk with me today and hanging out with us. I know it's been real fun for everyone in the comments here. Has been just really enjoying everything you've had to say.
it was our pleasure.
It's been great. And so I'm going to let y'all go, but I want to tell you that I really do look forward to seeing you both in person, meeting you in person next time I'm out in Kenosha. And
it was nice
spring.
Today.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna let you get back to what game. What's the card game you're playing right now? What is it again? 13?
313.
Sounds like a gang, like a prison gang. Like, I saw a video. It was like the toughest prisons in the world, and I think that's one of the prison gangs. What was that?
You feel like you're in prison when you're playing it because it never ends.
It's a life sentence. Just got to play this damn card game. That's how you endure. You play a game that never ends. Play the game that never ends. That's fantastic. Well, again, thank you both so much for not just talking to me today, but for being
Good night.
45 years, you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Emily, you're amazing. Thank you for letting me talk to your folks. I'll be in touch. All right.
Peace.
All right. Take care. Awesome convo, y'all. You got to love it when you have a chance to talk to folks that are sorry, I had to like get that all dialed in, but I'm trying not to sit too close. I can hear myself breathing, so I'm gonna try to just talk into the mic when I'm not breathing. But yeah, it's exciting to get a chance to get the perspective from from folks that have made it, you know what I mean? That have made it 45 years, you guys. That's a long time to do anything. I don't care what you're doing for 45 years. 45 years is a long time. I saw people in the comments here that were, 57 years, 63 years, just in a wild amount of time, which is, well, Adora, I'm glad I got you out the box. But it's just beautiful, and I want to do a big shout out because while we're there, I didn't get a chance to give shout outs where I needed to. But over on our Twitch side, for our Twitch panel, folks that are over there, what's up, y'all? DJ Tesseract, thank you for those bits, 6,000 bits, man. That's amazing. Thank you very much for everyone that's on YouTube watching that. Cindy, everyone else over there, thank y'all. We still got more to go, but I just want to give a shout out right now. Tell everyone in the community how much I love y'all. It's Valentine's Day. I know I tell you guys a lot. I'm an emotional dude, but I really do appreciate you being a part of this and allowing me to be a part of your life. You guys are amazing. To everyone on my team, happy Valentine's Day, y'all. I love y'all for the hard work you put in and just for being an amazing contribution to what we're doing here. To having these kind of conversations, helping keep the chat friendly and safe. It means a lot, because this is big. This is good for me too. You know what I mean? It's just me and Jits hanging out on a Valentine's Day. So it's nice to be able to kick it with you guys. And so thank you all for being a part of this. And Trisha Templeton says her daughter got her first Valentine's Day card today. Was it? Her daughter got her first Valentine today. Flowers and candy. She's 10 and she races dirt bikes. One of the boys she races and has grown up together. It's cute. She got him a hat, some candy. Man, 10-year-old racing dirt bikes. That's good for y'all. So I'm going to ask you guys. So if you have kids, and I want to see something in the comments, like, how do you deal with that first love and how do you explain it? And I want to see some comments here. what do you do? Like, what do you say to your child when they come home and they're just so in love, you know, like, I can't breathe without him, or mom, dad, she's every, I don't even know how to talk, you know, she's everything. Cause I've been there. I remember some of my first crushes when I was a kid, you know, like just being smitten and not knowing not even really understanding it. You know what I mean? And then I got all jaded on love because I fell in love too early, I think. And then it didn't work out. I was like, love, get out of here. I want to deal with it. But, your husband and you were married in 10 weeks, married for 24 years. Sorry, where'd I go? Until he went to be with the Lord 8 years in April. Well, Wanda, I'm sorry to hear about your husband's passing, but that's a big marker too. 25 years. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And happy birthday to Adora, to your daughter. It's great. Yeah, happy birthday today. And you guys, if you didn't tune in right at the very beginning, we had what's called Sweetest Day, which apparently is the third Saturday of October. So if you didn't do anything today on Valentine's Day, you have a couple weeks to look forward to where you can go and get your stuff dialed in. People always have to say their kid is a female doing things. I don't know. But apparently they said that it's you're welcome, Wanda. They said that it's it's even, when you looked it up, it was listed as a Hallmark holiday and an opportunity for the candy industries to sell more sweets, but it's celebrated predominantly. So if anybody out in the Midwest has access to one of these cards, or Florida, because those are the two places where apparently this particular holiday is celebrated, is just in Florida and in the Midwest, which is funny that they like geographically pick these two places, really target that marketing. So if you're in either one of those locations, you might want to think about who's targeting your market, you know what I mean, and why. I appreciate that, Dara. You know, we'll work through it. You know what I mean? Being jaded on love, what can you do? But it's funny that it had a Florida in the Midwest of all, you know, for whatever reason, those are the two places. It's a corporation scam. It's funny because I think that a lot of guys use that for an excuse. To a lot of people, they're like, Valentine's Day, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not jumping into that because it's just it's a Hallmark holiday. I don't need a holiday to tell you that I love you, because I love you every day. But really, it's like, damn, I forgot to get a card. Should have got some flowers. Not that I'm putting you on blast right now. I'm not saying that, Joan. But I've been there. I've been there. Look at these emotes over here. Tammy's over on Twitch. Got some things going on over there, which is funny. Alicia, yes, I do plan on being out there for some of that. Yep. So get that to look forward to. We'll be on the road, hitting our weekend travels, but I do work the day job, the 9 to 5. So it's a matter of, balance and making it work. You know what we're going to do right now? We're going to make a call. We're going to reach out. We're going to hit our lifeline here and see if we can't get some kiddos on the line. My niece and nephew, Taj and Juju, my buddy Steve Phillips, and anyone that's been watching the show, is that 100%? But video is maybe at 50 to 70. Put the video at 70%. Yeah, hey, you guys, pardon the studio quality right now. If you're not getting the best picture, I apologize. It is what it is. I've got the data folks coming next week. They were going to come this week, but we ended up with all the snow out here in Washington. So, it is what it is, but we're going to get that figured out. We're going to have this all streamlined, so it's looking super smooth. That's why I put it there, y'all. Yeah, exactly. Megan was talking about my room divider here, wondering what's happening on the other side of that thing, but you're not going to know. That's my industry. What's really going on? That's what's happening on the other side over there. So let's see if we can't get some kiddos on the line here and get him. But Steve Phillips, if you guys don't know who Steve Phillips is a guy I grew up with. He's been like my little brother since we were, 12 years old. He said, what did he say? He was like my original troll. So like when I first started going live on my stream, didn't even know what I was doing. Had no idea what a troll even was. I was like, I don't even know. Cause I don't spend a lot of time online, and it's in California, apparently, Shannon. Okay. But people haven't heard of it. Okay. So what Steve would do is when people were trolling my show, I would just, tag him in the comments, and he would go after him and just eviscerate him. I mean, Steve's wicked funny, but he was just that dude. Yeah, Cindy, pay no attention. That's where Oz lives, behind the curtain. But he would just go after him. They're like, I'm out of here. I don't even know what's going on. I don't want a part of this. But anyway, watch it on stream and don't know about it. Yeah, Renee Matska over here. Yeah, I can only watch a stream that's in front of me. So if we're talking about video quality, I can't. I don't know. It is. The mic is working out great. We're working on the video quality, but a lot of that's the data situation here. And I think it could be that there's a lot of snow on the lines, and Dora just found out she was a troll. But it's I think yeah, Steve is mad funny. You're right, Steph. So we're gonna call his kids right now. But I think the snow on the lines is causing issues. And I know I've seen some transformers that have exploded. You'll see those like crazy bright lights and loud explosions, and a lot of those are like where the snow or branches, weights them down. Art blown up. So it was funny when I was younger, not younger. Well, I was younger. You're always younger than you are today, right? But I lived in this neighborhood, and there was all the snow. It was super snowed in, and I'm snowed in, and there's a lot of old folks. I moved into this older neighborhood in Poulsbo, and which kind of an older town, and you could see where all these branches were sagging down and getting ready to hit the power lines, right? And I was like, but there was at the base of these like gully kind of, there's these two big hills that came in. And I keep forgetting I'm going the wrong way here, but they came in, and when you got down there, you're stuck. There was a couple feet of snow, and you couldn't get out. And so a lot of old people needed their power. So I was like, oh man, I got to see if I can. So I sat out there for hours throwing like snowballs at trees, knocking the snow off of these branches and apparently one of the folks went out there and took a picture. And so in the newspaper, there's this video of me, or picture of me like winging snowballs. And they were like, local community member, puts it on the line for the community. That's just like, I got bored and threw some snowballs. So, hey, shovel someone's walk or throw some snowballs at the trees, get some weight off those power lines, be a upstanding member of your community. Anyway, let's call the kiddos here and see if we can't get them on the line. They're at home getting babysat by Steve's mom while Steve and his wife are out at, Valentine's Day dinner. So let's see what happens here. And you guys got to let me know if you can hear this. All right. Guys hear that okay? Hopefully you can hear it okay. We might have to call twice because maybe they don't recognize the number. We're going to have to. Hey, Joan, would you explain what virtue signaling is? Honestly, I don't want to Google it right now, but actually I am going to Google it right now.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Oh, we might have to call it again. Virtue signaling. Someone said take a shot every time. The action or practice of publicly expressing opinions or sentiments intended to demonstrate one's good character or the moral correctness of one's position on a particular issue. I don't even know what to take about that, Joan. Every time are you talking about every time I virtue signal? All right, well, I'm going to brag it up, y'all, because I am just a virtuous dude. I'm going to tell you about all the accolades and accomplishments and amazing things that I've done in the world so that you guys can get super drunk. Enjoy Valentine's Day. Woo, tip it up. We're going to try that one more time. See if we can't get him on the phone. Jess, I don't think anybody does. People figure it out. I don't know. Adora said one sip and it's over. Apparently it's on loud. We'll see. But we're calling Steve's mom's phone, so I don't think I've ever called her before. So
your call has been forwarded.
Didn't happen. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna surprise call someone else right now. Then we're gonna get through to somebody right now. It's gonna happen. I just call myself out when I'm virtue signaling. For example, look at the stack of books I'm reading. Shame. Look at the stack of books I'm reading. Love the fact you have captions on. Yeah, we're working on it. Text them. All right, cool. Let's see what's going on. Where we at here? We'll go boom. We're gonna send a text here. See if we can't. Hey, it's CJ. Please answer the phone. I need to talk to the kiddos. All right. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. We'll see if that one comes back around. All right. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead, put my mom on the spot. She's always good for giving some tidbits of knowledge. Oh, all right. Got a quick okay. Boom. There we go. Never mind. We'll get back to her in a minute.
Your call has been forwarded.
Now they're calling me, I think. Wait, is that what happened? Oh, hey, and Jen, rocking the watch here. I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing really. I'm just sitting here playing.
Is this Taj?
Yes, it's Taj.
This is the Taj?
Yes, it's Taj.
What? Get out of here. You know who you're talking to right now?
C-Ray?
Uncle C-Ray. You got that right.
Did you just try to call?
I did. I did
Okay.
try to call. Yeah. So, hey, yeah. So, Taj, how are you, bud?
I'm doing good.
Is Juju there with you too?
Yes. Hi, C-Ray.
Hi, Juju. How are you doing?
Good. I'm 7 years old now.
You are 7? What? That means Taj is almost 9.
Yeah, he's 2-8.
What? You guys are getting way too old. I don't like that. You got to stay young forever. Young forever. So, hey, now
I
that we...
really want you to come over.
I promise I will come over soon.
Daddy's not here.
I know. So, Taj and Juju, where are your mom and dad at right now?
It's Valentine's, so they're taking a Valentine's date, and Grandma Izzy's watching us.
Okay. So they're at Valentine's. What is Valentine's Day all about?
They do a date on Valentine's Day and have fun together. Here, Grandma.
No, hey Juju, I want to talk to you and Taj. I need to talk to you and Taj.
Okay, talk to C-Ray.
Hi, C-Ray.
Okay, hey Taj, I'm gonna ask you some questions, okay?
Okay.
I was gonna have when your dad and mom are gonna be there, but now they're at dinner, so I'm just gonna talk to you. Okay, so Taj, how old are you? Tell everybody how old you are. You're on my TV show right now, okay?
8.
You're 8 years old. 8 years old. All right, Taj. I'm gonna ask you some questions. No wrong answer, okay? No wrong answer.
Okay.
Taj, what is love?
Love is something that you feel when a certain person likes you and you like them.
Okay. Have you been in love yet, Taj?
Yes.
You have. Okay. And did this person love you back?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
And is this something happening right now, or was this when you were younger?
No, it was when I was in 1st grade.
Oh, okay. Young love. How did you know that you loved this person?
Because they were always nice to me.
They were always nice to you. Okay.
In 1st grade, I actually had 2 girls.
What? 2 girls? All right. You sound like a little player now. All right. Why did you have 2 girls?
Because they both really, really liked me.
Oh, so they both loved you,
Mhm.
and you only loved one of them.
No, I loved one more than the other, but they were still my best friends.
Oh, okay. So they were still your best friends. Okay.
Mhm.
That's good. Is that important when you love someone to be friends too?
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this. Your mom and dad are on a Valentine's Day date right now. Why do you think your mom and dad love each other?
Because they're both really funny, kind, caring people, and they're meant for each other.
Wow. They're kind, funny, caring, and they're meant for each other. That's beautiful. I love that. I love what you just said there, Taj. That's great. Do you love me?
Yes, I do.
All right, good. Because I love you, buddy. I love you a lot. You know what I have in
One of
my
favorite uncles.
what? You're my favorite, one of my favorite nephews. I love it. Well, we got a good thing going then, bud. I'm looking forward to coming down and visiting. So,
When?
do you know what like okay, so your mom and dad got, so let's talk about marriage. Do you know what marriage is?
Yes, it's when someone buys stuff to go to a proposal to propose to them and say if they'll marry you.
Yeah. And then when they get married, what does that mean?
Happens is that they're in a relationship they cannot break unless they divorce.
Oh, okay. So they can't unless they divorce. Now, why would someone get a divorce?
Because they argue a lot and then they just don't like each other.
Well, that's too bad. We don't want that to happen, do we?
Or they just argue a lot.
Sometimes people argue a lot, though, don't they? I mean, it's hard sometimes to, for people to get along, all the time. But okay. Do you plan on getting married someday, Tosh?
I don't know.
You don't know. That's okay. You don't have to know. What do you think would be a person that you'd want to marry?
A person that I want to marry would have to definitely be no one.
No one? Like just.
I don't know who I want to marry.
Oh,
Yeah, no one.
I like that. So kind of just somebody that you haven't obviously met yet. Somebody that would be brand new to you.
Gets me.
Somebody that what?
Gets me. Somebody who gets me.
Oh, okay. That understands your jokes and yeah. Because you're a funny kid. You're a really funny kid. Yeah.
You're a really funny uncle.
Well, hey, I appreciate that, Taji boy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, man.
It's true.
Well, that's why we get along so well, Taj, because I think we understand each other, right? We get it. Yeah, somebody who gets me. I get it. Hey, is Juju right there?
Yeah.
Would you grab her real quick?
Juju, come here.
Juju, come here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Juju? All right, Juju, I'm going to ask you a few quick questions, okay? There's no wrong answer, all right?
Okay.
All right, so, Juju, how old are you?
7.
How old?
7.
7. What are you eating right now?
A carrot.
A carrot?
Yeah.
That's a good help.
7.
You're a 7-year-old eating a healthy snack. I love it. Okay, Juju, big question for you. What is love?
It's when somebody falls in love and someone and like when the person wants to marry someone, they find a girl or a boy and they want that boy and they love it.
Okay. Where do you think you feel love? Like in your heart, in your head, where do you think you feel love?
In my heart.
In your heart. Okay. Who do you love?
I already love one person.
You do? You love somebody? Who is this person?
Yeah. Wicked.
Who?
Wicked.
I don't. Tyler? Siler.
Yeah.
And who is Siler?
Taj's friend.
And
his username on like the video games is Wicked.
Well, now we're just doxing their video game handle, okay? But okay. So let's talk a little. How do you know that you love this person?
Because ever since I just heard his name, I started loving him so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is love? What does that mean to you? Like, how do you show somebody that you love them?
Like, give them a kiss and marry them and love them forever and do what they ask me to do and then give them a love.
Okay. What if they ask you to do something that you don't want to do?
Do it
I think you're going to figure out as you get older. There's some things that you can go ahead and say no to, and they're still going to love you. That's great. That's great. So, who else do you love in your life right now? Who do you love?
Hi, my mom, my dad, my family.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Your mom, your dad, your family. Okay. Now, is it different kind of love that you feel for your mom, your dad, and your family that you feel for Skylar or Siler? I mean,
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same.
Okay. So it's a different kind of love. Okay. What do you think is the big difference between the love you feel for Siler and the love you feel for your dad?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, all right. Okay. Well, I'm just glad you took some time to talk to me, Juju. I love you and I miss you.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm going to see you guys soon, okay?
Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you later. You tell Taji that I love him too, and tell your grandma I love her as well, okay?
Love you too.
Well, there she
Love you,
is.
Steven.
All right. Love you guys. We'll see you soon, family.
Okay. See you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, same to you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Bye-bye. So there you go. That's awesome. So that's my buddy Steve, his two little ones that are 7 and 8 right now, creeping up on 9. Taj is almost 9. And you know, it's just good to hear little kids like we were talking about with Emily's parents, with Phil and Lou, like a lot of the simplicity that goes into love, man. It from the mouth of babes, as Julie was saying, and some other folks have said, it doesn't take a big explanation. It doesn't take a some kind of grand inquisition to figure out what love is. Sometimes you can just ask a kid, and they'll tell you right off the bat, and or you can ask someone a little bit older. So Taj is my nephew. And Juju is a little girl, niece. But again, I'm Uncle CJ to all of my buddies' cheerings. So I'm like the consummate nonstop Uncle CJ. It's like always the groomsman, never the groom type of thing. Do we have a convo? Texting. Oh no, the kids want to text and chit chat a bit later. I'll let them know. But yeah, I think it's important that Taj point out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not kidding. So Taj right here, Master Strib over on Twitch said Taj point out. For real, this kid, I swear, both these kids are gonna have their own networks. Like they are just hilarious, funny, super smart, wicked talented. They're incredible, and I think that's one of the beauty things you find with kids is that you don't have to dig too deep to find some incredible the beauty of children. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that no matter what you do, you get a chance to just look at them and let them just do what they do, and they always end up showing you some kind of incredible insight to the world. I think that if we listen enough, you'll end up getting the best advice you can get from someone under the age of 10. So which is awesome, because like for me personally, like this, I think, is where a lot of it comes down to with the people that I've been dealing with a lot in the world over the course of the last year, is that everyone assumes they've got it figured out, right? Like CJ, I had 2,000. Not sure what that means, but wicked. Why are you part Boston, part I don't dialect fusions. Yeah, I don't know, but I think a lot of people think they have it figured out, but we haven't taken a chance to really talk to kids or anybody and really get the better insight. Kind of the influx of information from different demographics and different different age brackets. So I think it's great, that these little kids are that are out there, they seem to, with all the answers, really. Okay, so I remember watching Ken Griffey Jr. back in the day, Everybody. I mean, if you don't know who Ken Griffey Jr. is, you should probably, throw your computer out the window right now. Google Ken Griffey Jr. If you don't know who he is, he's amazing. The kid, right? Seattle legend. Ken Griffey Jr. And he was talking about if you take a child, and you put him in a batting cage, give him a bat, and just have them swing at a bat, swing at a ball, and you watch their form, you'll realize it's the perfect form right off the bat, like right, literally, so to speak, or whatever. But it's a perfect form. And the reason that it's perfect form for them is because their body mechanics haven't been trained anything different. So they're true to form, is what they say. They're true to form. Boom. And then you work on that. You build on the basics that they already have figured out without being mechanically structured in any other direction. So they have the perfect baseball swing already, so to speak, right? So, and it kind of, maybe not the same thing, but if you take someone who's a right-handed batter, put them on a left-handed stance and have them swing, you're going to find that that's kind of their natural form. And then you work on that. And I think that with kids, they've already kind of got a natural idea of things, but we spend so much time trying to teach them otherwise and tell them otherwise and giving them terrible advice. You know what I mean? Man, but yeah. See, Ryan, you know what's happening. Yeah, King Griffey right over there. But the beauty part about it is that, like, with kids, if you just listen to them, a lot of times the simplicity of their answer, like, we look right past it, but it's like the easiest thing for us to process, I think. And it's kind of like the way that, that you hear things, right? I think that, they've said that, what's funny is they were doing this during the protest, and one of the police officers, it's funny that they said that he told me this, but they have the LRAD, the long range acoustic device. And I'm not going to go into protest chit chat too much, because again, we've had plenty of that, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more coming up. But right now we're talking about love. But what they did was they had a male. They've had traditionally, when you were down in like Portland or anywhere you hear the LRAD, it was a man's voice, telling everyone time to go home. This has been deemed a riot, whatever. What they did was they switched it up, and they took and put the microphone in the hand of a woman, and they had her talking. And this is direct from the mouth of the horse, right? They said flat out, they were like, people are more prone to listen because you hear the LRAD and it just kind of, you drone it out, right? You drum it out. You just stop hearing it. What they did was they put the woman's voice on there, and they found that people were more responsive because they're trained to listen to the sound of their mother's voice. And so they had, and this is one of the police that was, after one of the nights of big protests, like we were kind of all walking back to the car, and he stopped us all and was like, hey, what, blah, 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 just kind of giving us some grief and whatnot. But I asked him about the change in the voice, and he was like, well, they were just kind of like a psyops, they're a psychological operation. They were trying to see how it worked because they felt that people were more responsive. In the studies that they've done, they feel that, that it was just more people were listening more to their mom. And so they were like, well, mom told us it's time to go home, so we're going to go home. You know what I mean? Dad is like, whatever, wait until mom says something, then we'll go ahead and listen. But, yeah, I wonder what Independent Manny says. Wonder what happened if they put a kid on the mic. That would be honestly hilarious if they just had a child pop on and be like, hey guys, could you all go home? Like, it's really loud. I have to get up in the morning and go to school. This is really scary. There's a lot of explosions and a lot of screaming, terrifying me as a child. Could everyone just go home, please? I'm sure I'm going to get blowback for that. Like, oh, how dare you say that? But guaranteed you get a different response. You know what I mean? The Kenosha LRAD. Yeah, that was my favorite too. But everyone, please just disband. This is a terrible night for everyone. You have umbrellas. We have tanks. Please just write your congressman. Just the best way to deal with this. It was hilarious. What's up, Real Frozen Media? How you doing? So yeah, it was one of those things where like, they just got used to hearing your mom's voice. And I think that a lot of times we tune out and there's studies that have been done on that where they've, we start tuning out certain sounds, you know what I mean? You just kind of, you blind spot your ears to certain things. But so either way, kids a lot of times have more answers than we give them credit for, right? Because we don't ask them a lot of questions. Your kids don't listen to you. Bring Kylan says, my kids don't listen to me. She mean the LRAD to their block and tell them to clean their room. Yeah. There you go. Get your own LRAD. Just hook it up in a closet. That'll just scare the bejesus out of them. So yeah, we've got it was funny that I've got these. I was looking up all these things while I was getting ready to sit down and do this segment today. And really, I just wanted to take a minute, like legit today, just to talk about love. Just take a little bit of time to just kind of spread some good vibes, and really focus on what we're doing today. Of all days, we're celebrating Valentine's Day. Should you blind your eyes to certain things? Megan, I don't know where you're going with stuff right now. So we got Megan over on YouTube. I don't really know the direction you're headed. I can't really pick up on what kind of like the theme for the questions you keep asking. But yeah, I feel that right now it's a chance for us to kind of just talk to each other a little bit better. You know what I mean? To work on the conversations we have and to put, and I say it a lot. You guys know that's part of the theme of my general, dialogue is talk a little bit about love. If we can influx that, inject it into our thought process, into our, our regular, diatribe of things that we go through in the day, it'll change things, right? And and if we are allowed to take that in, we get it back. And it's that whole paying it forward, right? So we have an opportunity to if we put out that love, we're going to start getting that back. It's the, and our input directly affects our output. And if what we're getting is love from people, then what we give back is the love. And so we have a chance to really kind of build a reciprocation in the things that are going to make us all better people. And, and that's easy. I mean, from the point of view, I'm not sure what you mean, Meg, but they are talking about age appropriate things. Steph, I'm not sure what you mean. So I do have a couple of our viewers here actually that have, I asked, some folks, I was like, hey, would you just ask your kids, what I mean? Ask your children, ask your little childrens here. Until CJ said your name. Oh, Megan, I was watching on Facebook until CJ said your name. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, so you guys know we're on 3 different platforms right now. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you're watching on your TVs and you want to watch it on YouTube, just so you can watch on the big screen or whatever, cool. Hop into YouTube. I see comments for all 3 different platforms. The chat over on chat. How many times have you been in love? How many times have I been in love? But over on to talk about what's happening over on Twitch. So Twitch, we've got a lot of cool stuff happening with some emotes Tammy's throwing together. We got some fun stuff happening over there. So if you want to go into Twitch, and we have ways we can be involved there, and of course Facebook. So but I recommend that we go to all 3 platforms. You can also go to cjtv.live, which is the website, which we're building right now. We're getting some stuff dialed in on there, but it does give you a direct link to all 3, and you can kind of check things out. We're going to put our merch up there and stuff. So some fun stuff going on, but yeah, so we're moving the right direction. Soya, yes, I would say Megan is special, but so are you. So Tam over on Twitch, someone they asked how many times have I been in love? And honestly, that's a good question. I don't know how many times I've been in love. I know I had like the big fall when I was young. Like I fell in love really hard. And Serena, what's happening? And sorry, just saying hi to some folks that are jumping in on some of the other channels. I don't know what the hell this is. Well, there you go. Here's a sample of some of the emotes. Hey, Becky G, thank you for that donation. I appreciate it. Over on YouTube. It means a lot. For the bits that are being donated over on Twitch, thank you guys. That's super cool of you. I appreciate you helping contribute to the stream. Marvelous Marvin over on Twitch. How are you, man? Good to see you back. What does it say? Joan says men don't have fully formed brains until they're mid-20s. Sorry, 8-year-olds don't cut it for me. Well, okay. You got to wait till a man's in at least his 20s. Seems like some of the dumbest stuff we do is in our 20s, though. You know what I mean? It's like we finally figured it out that we just do the dumbest things you could possibly imagine. So, so yeah, I get you. You know what I mean? I don't get it though, because so when I was younger, I fell in love when I was I'll tell you guys real quick. I'll give you my 2-second love story here. So I'm in high school. I'm a senior. I sit down day 1 of school, And in walks this girl. She sits down behind me and wearing like Adidas shell toe shoes, and he's like, yoga style pants, whatever. Blue fleece, little pixie bob haircut, braces, bleached hips, just, whatever. That's what she was. She knocked me out of my seat. And I was like, oh my gosh. I turned around, I had introduced myself, and we start talking, and I was like, wow, and I realized Kev says I'm 22, still found nothing. Well, keep moving in the right direction, yo. What is love? Yeah. So we're figuring it out. Dennis, I'm working on it. So I turn around, I look at this girl, and I remember just after our first conversation, like before the class got out, I was an algebra class, Mr. Ochberger's class. Hated me. Absolutely hated me. So I remember just telling her, I was like, man, you're going to get me into a lot of trouble someday, and we started conversations through class, and we write notes and whatnot. And anyway, we got to that point where we actually went on a couple dates, like legitimate dates. In high school, you don't really go on dates too often. Maybe back then you didn't. You either like you're seeing somebody or you're not, or you're talking to somebody. That was the big thing. Are you talking to each other? Right. Anyway, long story short, I graduated end of the year, and I was like, listen, I think you're amazing, but I don't want you to feel like you have to check in with me to do your thing. I'm going to take off and travel the world. I want to go see what's happening on the far stretches of the countries that I have yet to see. So I'm out of here. I'm going to take off. We weren't dating at the time. We were kind of like, but we were talking to each other. Anyway, fell in love early on, but didn't really know what to do with it because I was, 18, 19. And then we, came back and we got together. Anyway, there's a lot of things that happened in between there. Tammy, I don't know if it was my pickup line, but it was. But anyway, so it was young, really young, but we were together for a handful of years. But we did the, we got engaged, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out. But obviously there's a lot more to it than just that, but it didn't work out. So, that being said, then I got all jaded on love. I was like, oh man, if I don't have that, that original puppy dog love that I had when I was 18, then I don't want it at all. So how many times I've been in love since? I've dated people that I've loved, but I haven't really been in that place where I would say that I've been like fully like in love, not enough to give it my all, I think. And that was the issue. I wasn't willing to give enough of myself to validate the relationship. And I think that was a big deal too. I think I realized that where I was at in life wasn't in a place where I was able to give someone what they deserved. So I'm trying to slide in this chair here. And that's a big deal, right? You gotta be able to give someone what they should have and not just expect it to get, expect to receive, I've definitely fallen into lust at first sight. Bren is some of the things that I think I've gone through as an adult, but it's tough to say. I know I've had those deep emotional feelings of connection, but it's tough because I think honestly, where I'm at is still trying to figure it out, man. Still trying to figure out what love is. What is it? Maybe I'm doomed to be single forever. I don't know, but I think really it's just because you gotta, people always say they're trying to find the right one. And I think honestly, where I'm at now is like, I'm just trying to prepare myself to be the best king that I can be for my queen. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to be the best person I could possibly be so that when we do finally end up getting together, we'll be able to have the relationship we deserve. Because I mean, I figured that there's that rule of mirror, right? Like the person that's out there for you, like as long as you're continually preparing yourself and doing the things you can to be the best person you can be, when you finally do end up meeting your counterpart, they're doing the same thing. So you'll have the dynamic connection that you really need, right? The one that the sustainable stuff like Lou and Phil have, 45 years. Huge, man. 40, that's a huge mile marker. And like they said, you just, you endure, you go through it. And so it's tough, but well, I appreciate that, Soya. Serena says, love is never having to say, I'm sorry. Well, I appreciate where you're at with that, but it's gonna be hard for me to find love then, because I find myself saying I'm sorry a lot. I make a lot of mistakes. I think that that's kind of I've said before. I think the things that bond people together are similarities, and I think that that is one of the biggest things that we have in common with everybody is our humble falterings. That we're all broken, beautifully broken, right? And we're stumbling towards perfection. We're all trying to work on getting ourselves to a better place, to being a better person. And I think along our journey, we find people along the way that are part of that same soul trajectory. And I think that's when we find these connections that really endure and they really make their way through. And that's a big deal. It's a big deal when you find someone that is as, willing to invest the patience, the painstaking effort of putting up with all the idiosyncratic things that make us an individual, that draw you into each other in the first place. I think that's what happens a lot of times with love too, is that we find ourselves attracted to somebody for whatever reason, and then we forget that those are the reasons we're attracted, and those eventually we try to kind of like change people a little bit, right? We try to get them to be a better representation of what we would want them to be, or we start getting a little lazy about our approach. And that's tough. I have this little video. Like I said, I had some people, and you have to bear with me as I try to pull these things up. But some of our viewers, I asked their kids. Okay. Sorry. I see comments that come in and I try to jump into them. Normally, with streams that do these kinds of things, studio stuff, you'll have like someone playing in the background there. But, for us, it's just us jamming here, talking to each other. And I got some stuff I'm going to pull up for you here in this, this little video that took me way too long to make. You guys, I'm not even playing. Like, it's because I spent hours and hours and hours just being like, floored by all these like videos of love and, just being super caught up in like how amazing kids and animals can be. So anyway, that being said, let me see if I can pull up a couple of these videos here. And we will, okay, hold up. I'm going to share this real fast. So boom, there we go. And give me a second here. Here we go. Boom. And audio. Here we go. And let's do this. Here we go. So we'll move this other way. And here we go. And I want to make sure that we're doing this right here. So so this is one of our friends out in Kenosha, Cass. Her little guy. See what he has to say.
Explain what you think love is.
Guys, you already know what I said. It's about getting having kids and
okay.
I don't remember. Yeah, and getting married.
Kids and marriage.
Pretty much. And getting a few kids.
Few kids. Okay. Okay. So he said it wasn't just not just love and marriage. He said it's about having a few kids. You know, knock out a couple babies there. That's love. That's love. I think Danielle, we got one over here. Hold up. Let me see if you guys are seeing this as well. Let me and sorry, we're figuring things out over here, y'all. So bear with me as we go through the motions here. So we're gonna go ahead and stop screen. Let's do this. I got one more here. And that's just not working out for me, y'all. That's you guys know how I get down. Technologies in me are just not, we don't typically line up. So we're gonna get this dialed in though. Open that. Why does it keep jumping? Are you guys still seeing this video keeps popping up here? I don't know if it's actually playing, but here, we'll just do this. We'll share a video file. We'll go to the desktop and we'll go to which one is this? Boom, boom. This one right here. Okay, here we go. Audio's on. Had to stream.
I think love is when you care about somebody you love them, you also care about them. They would do nice things for you. You do nice things for them. And you will also write them a card. They will also write you a card back.
Simple stuff, right? Simple stuff. Just so you love them, they love you back, and you make them a card. You know what I mean? Pretty simple stuff, right? So hey, Danielle and Cass, thank you so much for sending those videos in. I appreciate it. I did make this, like I said, this I figured honestly, like I was looking up the love languages here, which was interesting because I read the book years ago and going through pre-marriage counseling, which is a big, I think, you know, if you've never done counseling, it's not a bad idea. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in a relationship for any period of time, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I was really against that at first. I'm like, I don't need someone telling me how to be in a relationship, yada, yada, yada. But we did find ways to better work through our issues. You know, it wasn't like telling us how to be good together. It was just telling us how to deal with being bad when things were bad together. And so that was a big deal. It was the homework that got me though. They had a lot of homework. I ended up doing a lot of reading. Men Are From Mars, the whole Women Are From Venus, the love languages. Mere Christianity was another one. I don't know how that played into it, but I think we had a pastor that was our counselor at one point, and then a pre-marriage counselor. And you know, I have an issue with counselors though. A lot of times I'm like, man, these guys are just trying to get money out of you. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, they don't really care, whatever. But the ones that do, it was helpful. It was helpful. But I got this little video. Actually, we'll cap off that. Actually, you guys want to do a quiz together here? I found the where are we at here? The love languages quiz. The 5 love languages, right? I found this quiz and I figured like we could take that real quick. I don't know if this part of this segment right here is going to go over, you know, maybe a total flop, but whatever. We're going to give it a shot. And in the comments, if you guys are getting tired of it, just let me know. It's just a quick quiz. And I think it just kind of helps you better understand what your love language is. And the love languages, so you know, there's 5 of them apparently, according to this author. Words of encouragement. You have acts of service. You've got quality time, physical touch, and gift giving. So in the comments, you guys feel free to jump in here and let me know what your love language is. Like, I'm curious to see if anyone, like, out of those 5, words of encouragement, acts of service, quality time, physical touch, and gift giving. What's your love language? Like, how do you see love? How do you feel love? How do you give love? Yeah, this chat is more like chilling chat. Yeah, no, we're kicking it, y'all. Like, we're just talking about love right now. We're talking about love. We've had some good conversations from the beginning. The 4 Loves by C.S. Lewis. There you go. Tammy, that was the book. One of the other books, The 4 Loves by C.S. Lewis. I think C.S. Lewis wrote Mere Christianity as well. So, food, cooking. So it's both quality time and acts of service. C. Ryan says, food and cooking. So, that's what you feel love. So, Ryan, are you saying that that's how you feel love is when someone does, like they do food or cooking, like when they make food for you, that's how you feel they love you? Tammy says it's acts of service. Depending on the situation, Cindy says all of them. Okay. Well, you're looking for the 5-fold on that one. You're really, you're shooting the moon, Cindy. You're shooting the moon. Where are we at over here? We got, well, Serena says, well, poot, I failed on all of them. You know, I think we got 5 to shoot for, so you don't have to be perfect on all of them. Yeah, so what do we got over here? Acts of service by Nicole. She says that, you know, that's when she feels love. Someone helps her with acts of service. Cooking and touch are ways that Soya shows love by prepping, doing meals, and by those moments of physical affection. Cindy says, go for broke. Yeah, quality time. Patriot Lady says quality time or touch. Yep, spending time together. Marvin over at on Twitch says, or over on YouTube. Sorry, Marvelous Marvin's over on Twitch said the same thing. What do we got over here? Yeah, what makes your partner feel appreciated? Yes, all of them. Okay. Physical touch is a big one for me. Okay, so I keep missing those. Yeah, so yeah, QT and PT. As far as how I show my person, well, I'll find him. It'll be his language, or it doesn't work. There you go. QT, quality time and physical touch. Okay, sorry, it took me a minute to figure that out, Bryn. I was trying to figure. Usually, I'm an acronym guy. For whatever reason, that one slipped past me. I do all when I say I love, I will buy him stuff. I leave. Okay, here we go. Someone else said, I do all of all. When I say I love you, I will buy him stuff and leave him notes and read, and I help him and we talk about everything. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's good. Stacey, that's fantastic. I think it's important to have the conversation. I think really the two things that I've found in all the things that I've gone through in life and love, trust and communication. Like those are the two basic foundational pillars that you need to have for any relationship to work. And once one fades, the other one's going to go with it. If you don't have communication, then you're going to stop trusting each other. And if trust starts to fade, you're going to stop talking about, everything. You don't feel safe to communicate what you're feeling, where you're at with your heart. Hey, Wanda, have a great night. Good night to you. Thanks for joining us. Happy Valentine's Day. I know it's getting late for some people over the East Coast. And it's President's Day on tomorrow. So a lot of people are celebrating a holiday. I know everyone in Canada is actually directed at somebody in particular, y'all. That they are not celebrating President's Day tomorrow. But hey, thanks for joining us, Wanda. But yeah, trust, communication. And then my cousin once, it's funny, we were sitting in the hospital, actually. My cousin Matt just had the worst golf incident I've ever seen. So we're at a putt-putt or a chip and putt, right? Which is like a small golf course, right? You have like three par, or like three, for those that don't golf, 3 shots at getting the ball in the hole. So it's a small course. And this kid, I was going through a terrible breakup with the fiance, actually. And my cousin was like, I got to get you out of the house. So I'm going to take you golfing. So we go to this golfing course, right? And we're just sitting out and we're hanging out. And he goes to tee off, right? Well, he swings a little too hard and gets a little bit too low on the rubber mat. And he ends up breaking the club. Well, from behind him, my friend OC and I are watching this. And the club looked like it flew up and hit him in the forehead, right? Boom. And we're laughing our asses off. Like, that's hilarious. You broke the club and hit you in the forehead. Thinking he'd turn around with like a welt. It's graphic, y'all. But what we didn't see was that when the club broke, he followed through with the broken shaft and jammed it into his mouth. I'm not lying. It was terrible. It was gnarly. My adventures. Yeah. If you're spamming stuff, don't do that. Or we'll just put you on timeout. If that's your guy. So, hey, Tammy, if you want to go ahead and put someone on timeout, if they're not listening, go ahead. But my cousin Matt, broken shaft of a golf club, right? It's jagged metal, bam, right into his mouth, shatters like 4 of his teeth, and like, I think half of his lip, like ripped his lip. It did terrible. So he turns around, we're laughing, and blood is just gushing. Just, I had never seen him like that before. Like I didn't even know how to respond to it. I'm just like, this can't be real. Like, how did you just do that to yourself? And so I'm trying to get him back to the clubhouse. Anyway, we get back to the clubhouse, which is where like they, you get your golf clubs and, or your golf balls or whatever they have there. Whatever, you buy your stuff there. That's where you check in. And he's fading. He's like getting white. He's losing a lot of blood, like a considerable amount of blood. You imagine your mouth. Anyway, we get to the hospital. That's the preamble to us getting to the hospital. We get to the hospital finally, and his sister is there. She meets us there, and we're just talking, and she's asking me how I'm doing. And, I'm going through a breakup, and I'm like, well, nothing nearly as bad as what Matt's going through right now. I got to switch his battery real quick. So bear with me. This light's going to cut out on me real quick. Boop. And then plug that back in. And where are we at over here? Is that the right one? No, that's super bright. My bad, y'all. Bear with me for a minute here. There we go. And so he, we're talking about relationships, right? And so in the course of that conversation, my cousin, she's telling me, she's like, trust and communication. And this is where, if you're not a religious person, I get, maybe go a different direction with it. But, and then she was like, the foundations, you have your trust and communication, right? Talking about a triangle here, right? And then they said the foundation is like your faith in God. And like you'll see in another video, like one little kid said, what is love? And the little girl says God, but those are things where if you have a central focus, it doesn't even have to be God, really. I mean, even if you're able to focus your attention strongly on the same thing, and you've got those trust, communication, and then the base of your operation, whatever you want to call it. But my feelings are more towards a male. This is kind of why I sort of feel towards it. Yeah, Kev, I don't, but much love, and I'm flattered. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? Much love, seriously. Thank you, Independent Manny. I appreciate that. So it was a big deal, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I realized that in my relationship that I was going through, we didn't have what we needed to make that work structurally. You know what I mean? We didn't have the foundation that we needed to really make that an operational or fundamentally, sound foundation. So that being said, oh gosh, but my strong. Oh gosh, relationships, but my art. Chris, are you saying relationships are your strong suit? Visual discussion, not my strong suit. Yeah, so we're talking about love. It doesn't have to just be relationships. So, but hey, so I got this love language quiz, and hey, you guys can all do it. I mean, if you want to do it yourself at home, here I'll put a link up in the comments here, and you can. I'm gonna copy the hyperlink here. Let me see if I can do this real fast. Paste. Boop. All right. So this is for single folks. So this is the love language quiz I'm about to jump into. I'm going to try it out. And like I said, this might be a flop and it might be totally lame. I don't know. But we're going to do it anyway. We're going to see what's up. These are the questions that are posed to people while trying to assess your love language. So, yeah. So officially took a test quiz, just quickly self-assessed, I guess. Yeah. Yep. So let's see what's happening over here. So let me see how to get this pulled up, and we will boom. Let me see. Open the hyperlink. Oop. Pull this over here. Boom. There we go. And I'm gonna share this screen here. So bear with me for 1 minute here. Boom. All right, and we're in there. Okay, so this is legit. This is the quiz itself. So we're gonna get started on this thing and see what happens. So, hey, it might be, like I said, it might be super lame. I don't know. We're gonna find out though. We're gonna find out. And we'll move this thing out of the way here. Put that up here. Boom. Or maybe I'll put it down here. Whatever. Just get it better out of the way. So it's a recent one. So it's a 2021. Premarital counseling tool is what it says. Appreciation at Work and Start Marriage Right are some of the sponsors for this particular test, and the Moody publishers, Moody Radio as well. So here we go. Gender, male. Age, prefer not to say. Doesn't matter. We're going to go with select your country, United States. Have you read the 5 Love Singles Edition? No, I haven't. I read the Couples Edition. So we're going to find out what's up with this. All right, so Patriot Lady, I appreciate that. All right, so it's more meaningful to me when someone I love sends me a loving note, text, email, or special reason, or I hug someone I love. I'm going to say I hug someone I love. It's more meaningful to me when I can spend alone time with someone I love, or someone I love does something practical to help me out. I'm going with the time spent. It's more meaningful when someone I love gives me a little gift as a token of our love, or I get to spend uninterrupted leisure time with those I love. We're going to go with time spent. There's already a theme starting here. Someone I love does something unexpected for me to help me with a project, or I can share an innocent touch with someone I love. It's more meaningful to me when someone I love does something unexpected for me to help me with a project. Yeah, I'm kind of a loner like that. I don't know. Maybe that won't work out for me. It's more meaningful to me when someone puts their arm around me in public, or someone I love surprises me with a gift. I'm not really a gift guy, so it's going to be an arm around me in public. I'm around someone I love, even if we're not really doing anything. I can be comfortable holding hands, high-fiving, or putting my arm around someone I love. Man, I don't know, y'all. This is tough because I love spending just time with people, the effortless time. But it is nice to be able to have that connection Yeah, we're going with that physical touch on that one. I hear from someone I love that they love me. Yeah, that's the one there. Let me see. It's more meaningful to me when I sit close to someone I love or I am complimented by someone I love for no apparent reason. I do like those random moments of affirmation. Yeah. So, hey, if you guys are at home, again, I put the link in the, here, you know what, actually, this is the 5lovelanguages.com, and it's the 5 love languages quiz. So if you guys are at home, yeah, jump in on it. And you know what, here, we'll go. I got you. We're going to keep going to this test here in just a second, but let me do this for you guys real quick. We'll dial this in, get it going real smooth. Like someone said we need some Barry White in the background. Larry says, we need some Barry White in the background. People have to be single to find time for that quiz. I mean, if you got time to listen and watch right now, Renee, you got some time. You know what I mean? You got some time. It's whatever, Hey, it's just something to do. Jess says she's physical touch. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump in on this. And we're going to go non-copyrighted love songs. There we go. Boom. Non-copyrighted love songs. So anybody is from the compliance offices or whatever they do when they want to jump in on when you're in copyright violations. This is non-copyrighted love songs. So don't get it twisted. It's legit non-copyrighted. So we're going to go ahead and English love songs. I don't even know what these are going to be. We're going to go, we're going to hit it. See what happens here. Could be terrible. I don't know. Anyway. There we go. While we're doing our test. There we go. Here's the loners. Yeah, you already know. Here we go. All right, so here we go. Sorry, I'm getting notifications over here. Okay. It's more meaningful to me when I get the chance to be a little loud. Hang out with someone I love, unexpectedly get a small gift, not hanging out. I'm good. It's more meaningful when I hear someone I love tell me I'm proud of you, or someone I love helps me with the task. Definitely the word of affirmation there. It got like the high-pitched version of Yummy by Old Boy. Well, I can't remember his name just now for whatever reason. Freaking, you know what I'm talking about. Whatever. It's more meaningful to me when I get to do things with someone I love, or I hear supportive words from someone I love. I'm going to say, yeah, this is where it's going to be confusing at the end here. Someone I love does things for me instead of just talking about doing nice things. I feel connected to someone I love through a hug. Yeah, okay. It's more meaningful to me when I hear praise from someone I love, or someone I love gives me something that shows me they're really thinking about me. Again, gifts are not my jam, guys. I love giving them, but I'm not really good at getting gifts. For whatever reason, it's just not my thing. Like, I'm not really trying to get into that, Let me see. I'm able to be just around someone I love, or I get a back rub from someone I love. It's more meaningful to me when I just get to be around them. So the ex actually was a massage therapist, and so maybe I'm burnt on that too. It's like a plumber with a leaky toilet. No, it wasn't like that. Did turn me on to homeopathics though. I'll give you that one. Someone I love reacts positively to something I've accomplished, or someone I love does something for me that I know they don't particularly enjoy. That I know they don't particularly enjoy that. Someone I love reacts positively. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Like, I'm such a lone wolf type thing. It's tough for me to have people do things for me. Positively do something I've accomplished. Maybe it's just the words of affirmation on that one. We'll jump in on that one. I'm able to be in close physical proximity to someone I love, or I sense someone I love showing interest in the things I care about. Nah, it's good just being close sometimes, because a lot of times you don't have to have the same interests. I don't think, you know what I mean? I think you have no problem. Joan, are you trying to crack on me? If people want to give a gift, I'm not going to say don't do it. Man, whatever. Someone I love works on special projects with me that I have to complete, or someone I love gives me an exciting gift. There we go. Works on a project with me. Where are we going here? It's more meaningful to me when I'm complimented by someone I love on my appearance, or someone I love takes the time to listen to me and really understand my feelings. There we go. I can share a meaningful touch in public with someone I love, or someone I love offers to run errands for me. Nah, we're gonna go for the touch on that one. Someone I love does something special for me to help me out, or I get a gift that someone I love put thought into choosing. Whatever, you know what I mean. We'll figure it out. It's gonna go into the Tumblr. By the end of it, we'll get it all figured out. You know what I mean. Someone I love doesn't check their phone while they're talking with each other. That actually is kind of a big deal. Someone I love goes out of their way to do something that relieves pressure on me. I'm all big on that undivided attention thing. Like, I like to know that the person I'm with is like, Carol, it's been a long time. It's been years and years and years, like 10 years since that particular big ex and I have been together. But yeah, that undivided attention, I really like having that, to know that like the focus is on us and just us. So it's more meaningful to me when I can look forward to a holiday because I'll probably get a gift from someone I love, or I hear the words, "I appreciate you" from someone I love. That's what it is. Meaningful to someone I love and haven't seen in a while thinks enough of me to give me a little gift. Someone I love takes care of something I'm responsible to do, but I feel too stressed to do at the time. That's a tough one. We're going with the gift on that one, actually. Okay, it's more meaningful to me when someone I love doesn't interrupt me while I'm talking. Gift giving is an important part of the relationship with someone I love. No, we're going to go with the non-interruption, which people are going to probably be too surprised about. Like, man, you always have to be talking. It's more meaningful to me when someone I love helps me out when they know I'm already tired, or I get to go somewhere while spending time with someone I love. Yeah. Making memories. I'm a big on making memories. I think that's a big part of relationships, man. If you're out there and you're doing your thing, like you get a chance to like be a part of someone's life and you make those moments like that. I watched this movie the other night. It was pretty funny. It had anyway, and the one dude gets arrested, the other dude gets expelled from school, whatever. They run into each other again. He's like, "Hey, we had our moment." He's like, "What's that?" And he was like, "Our memory. We made a big memory, And he was just like, "Man, I got kicked out of school. You went to jail." And he was like, "Yeah, but in 10 years, we're going to laugh and be like, do you remember that time?" I'm like, "Man, yeah, I get that." You know what I mean? Like there's that one old adage, like you're a good friend will bail you out of jail. Your best friend will be sitting next to you in jail. That whole thing where it's like, man, yeah, there's those people that you're going to want to make memories with. And I know that I've got my people that I've made some pretty incredible memories with, on the line of the life that I've lived. So, yeah, I think that's a big part. Someone I love touches my arm or shoulder to show their care or concern. Someone I love gives me a little gift. Little moments, those touches of affirmation. Yeah. It's more meaningful when someone I love says something encouraging to me, or I get to spend time in a shared activity or hobby with someone I love. Honestly, I enjoy doing the like I said, making those memories and whatnot. So, someone I love surprises me with a small token of their appreciation. I'm touching someone I love frequently to express our friendship. Yeah, there you go. Someone I love helps me out, especially if I know they're already busy, or I hear someone I love tell me that they appreciate me. Yep, there we go. If I get a hug from someone whom I haven't seen in a while, or I hear someone I love tell me how much I mean to him or her. I'm a hugger. You guys know that. So boom. Quality time. Your primary love language is quality time, apparently, at 33%. Well, okay, where are we at over here? So it says, let's see if we go full screen on this guy right here. Boom. So it says, for me right now, I got 33% quality time. With a close second at physical touch at 30%, 23% are words of affirmation, acts of service at 10%, and 3% receiving gifts. So there you have it. That's me in a nutshell, apparently. Not that anyone cared or was asking, but it looks like quality time. Yeah, QT is the way to go. And That makes sense. You know what I mean? I think like we were talking earlier to I gotta turn this down. How we got our background music playing, our non-copyrighted background music, even though it was why can't I not think of the kid's name, man? It's just ridiculous. Justin Bieber, freaking A, man. That was crazy stupid. CJ is 4% higher than my quality time, is what he said. Well, thank you, Cindy. Thank you very much. Yeah, so but what they were saying was we were talking earlier, and it's that quality time. It's the time you spend with someone. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of times in marriages and the relationships that last, it's like being able to spend your time with somebody. And I was talking about golfing with some coworkers the other day. We were having lunch, and golf was on the big screen or whatever at the place we were at, and he was like, "Hey, Brandy, happy Valentine's Day to you too." And he was like, "Yeah, I love golfing." And the new guy that I was kind of helping train, he was like, "Yeah, my wife and I just went golfing, like right before the, whenever it was, a couple weeks ago." And my other coworker was like, "You go golfing with your wife?" He was like, "Yeah, man, we love golfing. It's great." He's like, "Is she good?" And he's like, "No, she's terrible. She's a terrible golfer." I was just, and he would, my other coworker, I'm not gonna put him on blast, but he was like, "Dude, why would you go golfing with your wife?" And he was like, "Dude, he's like, Saturday morning, my buddies, he's like, we always do round robins. We got, a group of us, we all get together and we have a laugh." And there was a big difference between the two, because my one coworker that goes golfing with his wife was like, it's a lot of fun, And then to come to find out, like I asked, was like, "Well, are you any good at golf?" And he was like, "No, I'm terrible as well." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So it's not like you're out with your wife and she's just dragging ass, making it super frustrating. Because I've been golfing and I'm not the best golfer, but I've been golfing with people and they've been bad golfers, and it makes a very, very frustrating day. It makes for a very, very frustrating day. But he was just like, "Nah, it's just a fun time for me and my wife." And they have another couple that they go with. And sometimes they have these two other couples, and they'll set up like a big group and they go out and they golf, and, they have a good time. They have their drinks. Thank you, Serena. I appreciate that. And they just enjoy their time together. They make some memories. They have that quality time. And I think that's a big deal. They get a chance to just be with each other. They don't have to have, this magnanimous like moment. They don't have to go to Hawaii or Fiji or something like that. They just get a chance to go golfing together. You know what I mean? And so anyway, but my other coworker, you could tell he was like, "Dude, I go golfing to get away from my wife. I go golfing because I need to have my alone time. I want to be solo. I'm not trying to deal with." But he just went on a list, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, that's rough, man. Like you're really kind of just breaking it down right now." He's like, "I just, look, I need my time away from her, and I need to be able to go do my own thing." And I get that, like you want to be able to do you know what I mean? Like hang out with your boys or hang out with your ladies or hang out with whomever. But it was cool to hear my new guy be like, "Nah, man, we're still gonna make some memories. We're looking to have a good time." So that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool, at least, to hear him talking about his woman, his lady, his love, his boo. If you guys want to see something funny, there's this videos that you can watch. I think it's on Snapchat. The fact that I am even saying Snapchat is hilarious, because I think I've only looked at Snapchat like 3 times in my life, but I don't even know. I think I have a Snapchat, but obviously I don't use it much. But it's my sister showed it to me. I think it's called like Bay or Bail, and it's honestly I didn't even know what Bay was. I had to look that up. But Bay is like boo, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, like your sweetie, whatever. And they put people in these situations where like something would happen, like they'd go into a hotel room and somebody like a zombie would come at them, but they're there together. Like, would your partner, would they take off on you, or would they like try to save you? And so it was like the whole, Bay or Bail, whatever it is. It was pretty hilarious because there's some people that would like shove their partner towards like the zombie or whatever it was, like some demon, and they would run off. And then there was the other ones that like, one dude like straight up like grabbed his girl and like put her over his shoulder and took off on a run, like army, like, fireman carry style, just boom, blazed out of there. And I was like, man, you're getting a lot of bonus points for that one, buddy. Anyway, you should check it out. It's pretty funny. But I've got this other little video that I gotta find it real fast here. and it was it's a compilation of a couple different things that I thought were pretty funny, and some were pretty cute. And I'm gonna pull that up real quick here. Take a look at that. Like I said, we're just talking about love right now, just relationships type stuff, and what Valentine's Day is all about. But where is this video? It's over here, I think. 1 second, y'all. There we go. Boom, put that over there. I'm getting better at working this whole studio thing, though. I'm not the best, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it. I'm getting better. So we're gonna pull that up, and then nope, not like that. Okay. So this has got a couple. Honestly, like it took a minute to put together, but there's just some words of advice and some funny little things that just honestly, I was so lost in video land last night. I can't even remember exactly what's in this thing. It's just a couple minutes, but we're gonna take a look at it real quick here. See what the madness of my mind comes up with sometimes. And where is it? Here we go. And we'll see how this works.
Last question. What does love mean?
God.
Oh,
What?
yes, girl.
God.
Honey.
That's beautiful, man. So this cat, yeah.
Out of the water and killed it and boiled it.
Hopefully you guys can hear the
So
volume.
much
Is
of
the volume
what
okay?
is love, right, is fish love, right? And so,
And now what he was talking about with fish love was he asked the guy, he said, I love fish. Mike Holt, thank you very much for that super sticker over on YouTube. Appreciate you so much. Much love, Mike. Hey, again, always in my heart, bud. You know, definitely on my mind. But this guy, he said that I love fish. And he's sitting there eating a plate of fish. He's like, you love fish so much that you caught it, killed it, cooked it. That's how much you love fish. He said, and he was like, you don't really love fish. Yeah, Kev, have a good night. And he was saying that so basically he loved the fact that this fish would serve a purpose for him, right? And so that's kind of the drive that this guy's getting at, is he was saying that a lot of love that we feel we have is fish love. And so then he goes on right here. And let me know if you guys can hear this okay in the comments, because I'm only hearing it out of my speaker here. I'm not hearing it in my headphones here. So I'm hoping that it's coming through on your end. Solid.
young couple falls in love. Young man and young woman fall in love. What does that mean? That means that he saw in this woman someone who he felt could provide him with all of his physical and emotional needs. And she saw in this man somebody she feels that she can provide. That was love, right? But each one is looking out for their own needs. Right? It's not love for the other. The other person becomes a vehicle for my gratification. Too much of what is called love is fish love. Right? An external love is not on what I'm going to get, but what I'm going to give. We had an ethicist, Rabbi Dessler, who said, the people make a serious mistake in thinking that you give to those whom you love. And the real answer is, you love those to whom you give.
That's a big point.
And his point is, if I give something to you, I've invested myself in you, right? And since self-love is a given, everybody loves themselves, now that part of me has become in you, right? There's part of me in you that I love. Right? So true love is a love of giving, not a love of receiving.
I like what he said there. Now there's a part of you, a part of me in you that I love, you know, and that's like that, the connection, the sticky connection, they call it in business, where you've more ingrained with the person that you're with or your customer in business, but you have a sticky connection where there's parts of them in you and parts of you in them. And those are the ties that bind, right? Because you find that there's flattering things about them that the narcissist in all of us kind of talks to. And so, Ryan, go ahead and let it cry it out, man. Hey, cry it out. Ryan is saying over here, he said, am I trying to make y'all cry? No, I'm not trying to, but legit, I've bawled my eyes out just watching the little videos that I made to pull the clips out that I put together in this little thing right here. So, love can't live in a vacuum. Yeah. You love those to whom you give, which is true. And I'm going to tell you right now, you love those to whom you give. Like, I found myself, like, especially when we were down in Vegas, super connected to the people that we were helping out. Like, it just drew me. Like, I found myself deeply concerned about their well-being because I felt like I was a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, it was then a part of me, and that was a big deal, you know? So yeah, we're gonna keep going here. I know there's some goofy points in this video here, so, but
we all want perfect love that will completely satisfy our hearts. But why is true love so difficult to find? The reason is we don't understand what it is. Try and understand these three things: love, lust, and business. Where the desire is for my own happiness, that is lust. Where the desire is for the other's happiness, that is love. And where there is give, take, that is business. The law of love, the sixth divine law to awaken your best self, states that the heart can only be satisfied by true love, which is a noble and deep affection for the other's happiness without wanting any benefit in return.
Man, that I think is a big deal. You know what I mean? It's cool to get these different perspectives. You had one that was from a rabbi. This one is from a guru. And his name, honestly, I clipped it out. Unfortunately, I was hoping to have these all put in there, but I was trying to find different fundamental religious views on love, but that was good to have. Now we're going to hear from a little guys. I pulled up this interview, or not the interview, but the audition for E.T. If you guys haven't seen this, it'll blow your mind. This little kid is talented, but it was that alien kind of love, man. So.
To take that alien with me.
But you can't take him away. He's mine.
Well, but the government is bigger than you are, Elliot. And I have all the authority to take him, and I gotta
Definitely
tell you,
government view.
I'm gonna take him.
You can't take him.
Well, I'm afraid I have to, son.
You can't take him away. He's mine.
But it's not my choice. The president asked me to come here and get him.
I don't care what the president says. He's my best friend. And you can't take him away.
That little kid right there is auditioning for ET. What's crazy is I got emotional watching this audition. I was like, oh my gosh, man, this kid turned on the faucets. I was like, immediately, I was like, you can't take away that alien. That's his alien. How dare you, sir? Like I was believing him from the jump into this audition. The producer, whoever, he was like, you got the job, kid. Literally, that's, if you watch that interview, if you guys Google that later, go into YouTube and check out the ET audition. At the end of that audition, it's just another minute or two. He just flat out was like, you got the job, kid. You got the job. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, this kid, like you crushed it. You crushed it. But let's see who else we got in here.
I am grateful to have been loved and to be loved now and to be able to love, because that liberates. Love liberates. It doesn't just hold. That's ego. Love liberates.
Man, I love what she said there. When you try to hold on to something, it's that self-fulfilling part of us, you know, that it's driving, like I said, the narcissism. That's even if it's a subtle narcissism. Sadly, men deal with it a lot, but we're looking to accomplish things in our need factor. You know, we're trying to bring in what we can because it's important to us. And the act of giving, like what's important to you, is where people are focusing the attention of what really signifies love, right? It's not about finding somebody that can better service you. It's about finding someone that makes you want to aspire to be the best version of you that you can be to better service them. And and reciprocating that. And I think that's the beauty part about that union, the bond that people have, is when you find that that thing, that whatever it is, the catalyst in another human being that just inspires you to want to be the best you that you could possibly be, that holds you to the highest standard without having to lay out a list of accomplishments that you need to achieve in life, that just makes you want to do better. That, I think, for me is the love that really generates the power of personal change. And I think that, like, without having to change somebody, but somebody that makes you want to change for the better, maybe that's on the basis of what we should be looking for in love. But this was beautiful. This little girl is an adopted child. Her and her sister were adopted. And there was actually, this isn't the video that I was looking for, but I found this one. And like I said, I went through countless videos, guys, and just bawled my eyes out. I don't mind saying that. I'm a super emotional dude. But this is one of those videos that I found that just warmed my heart, and I'll let you guys watch it.
And we was very excited to meet you and our daddy.
Aww.
And we love you guys. And we want to be here for you and Daddy.
Oh, and I was very excited to meet you too.
And Lily?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what happened to my heart?
What happened to your heart?
Well, the first time I told you, when I saw you, my heart fell in love with you.
Your heart fell in love with me? Oh, my heart fell in love with you too.
Man, for real, like, just come on, you guys. There's another little girl that was explaining what love was to her mom, but this one, like, I had to kind of truncate the videos. That one was like a 5-minute video, but she's talking about when she first met her adoptive parents, and she was a baby. She was a couple years, there was, I think the disparity in age is like 1 and 4 or 1 and 3 is the difference between those two. Lily, her little sister, and her. And, but she was talking about the first time she saw her, like in the adoption agency, and how she just fell in love with her. And, like, man, it was just beautiful. I'm not crying, you're crying, Jen. That's right. But it was beautiful. I'm telling you guys, I'm not making this up. I cried my eyes out watching these videos where I just fell in love with all of these different clips of people just showing love. You know what I mean? Just showing love, man. And then I came across this little jewel. And so, hey, you're welcome. For all of you people that know about love.
I love you, Molly. I've always loved you.
Ditto.
Boop. That just happened. That just happened right there. Yeah, she said ditto. Because if you don't remember, in Ghost, originally he couldn't say I love you. She would say I love you so much, and he was like ditto. But then he realized when he passed that he didn't say the things in his life that he should have said to her while they were alive. Ditto. Right? Boom. She hit him. He's going off to heaven. He's transcending into the clouds, and she drops a ditto on him. I mean, that's clever. That's a keeper. I mean, didn't really work out that way for him, but good point. Remember when the guy wrote boo in the mirror? Woo! And these are just some old folks, man. Man, I tell you what, just the whole interview they did with these folks was pretty great. But this is just the tail end of it, I think, right here.
What do you think when you see each other in these pictures?
I think what a wonderful husband I got.
What do you think, William?
We made it.
Now, those two had been married for like 67 years, and we made it. Like, what a cool thing to say. We made it. What a great husband I have, and we made it. Like, I don't know what mile marker you set for yourself at that point, but 67 years, like, we made it. Like, you're there. Like, anyway,
Love and laughter is the most important thing there is in life. And don't lose it. Ever.
These two. Too cute.
Why not have sex?
I'm sorry, but that I was watching this other video about old folks, and that part came on. This woman just came out of left field, and she said, "Premarital sex. That's the key." She was just like, "Why not try sex?" You had that dude's below the little horn, and then it was tip number 69. Of course, was have sex. Which, drawing it back in, we had some beautiful sentiment from young folks, but it's funny as adults here. I think I don't remember what president it was that said that the worst thing that's happened for marriages was separate beds, and I think that's that was pretty on point. Just saying, like, hey, listen, you marry someone, and religiously they talk about, like premarital sex is a sin, it's no, but we're in a progressive day and age. But right at the end of it all, though, even these old folks, man, there was crazy how many times that came up in these videos that I was watching. How many times I was watching all these little videos where they were asking old folks, people that have been married for decades and decades and decades. And man, I'm telling you, and it wasn't the dudes like you'd expect. It wasn't these old guys that were like, you got to get in there. It was these older women that were just flat out like, don't give me so much layup to troll Don Melania, CJ. I don't know what you mean by that, C Ryan. But troll away. But man, it blew my mind. They were definitely dialed in. Like, no, you guys need to make sure you are getting yours and enjoy it. And I thought that was pretty hilarious. But I'm sorry, but that last little video, part of the video, I gotta watch that again. It just cracked me up. Where was it? Right down here.
And don't lose it. Ever.
These guys right here. He says,
Why not have sex?
He said, and then this dude said, "What? What did you just say?" It is, Stacy. It's intimacy, and it's about sharing that passion, that love. Absolutely. No, I'm not saying it's just about in the White House. Not much chemistry, man. Done trolling for now. See, Ryan, I feel you there. Yeah, but it's about close. Yeah, Cindy, like you're saying here, the this guy here cracks me up, man. Said, what did you do? Did you just blow a horn? But doesn't have to be about sex and closeness, about intimacy. It's about passion and about but intimacy. And intimacy, I think people have that confused with a lot of physical attributes. Intimacy, it can be anything. It can be an incredible range of different exchange that you have with a person. And I think that's so much more important. Yeah, Jen, I've watched that video probably 30 times. It just cracks me up. Just that last part. The full video clip was hilarious, but legit, like intimacy is, I think, that's a big part of distinguishing where you're at with your relationship. I think that, sex can be a real barometer, and you can really gauge a lot about where you're at with things based off your physical exchange, but you can look past that too and look at your intimacy, right? You can see where your intimacy level's at. And that can be gauged by, that comes down to you. It's an individual thing, but I really feel like you can use that as a real indicator, as a key component for one of the many, I'm sure, for kind of distinguishing where you're at, like where things are at in your relationship, So that being said, yeah, Mike, we love you, Mike. But yeah, I think that people have forgotten that like intimacy is, it could just be those moments. So I used to do a lot of spoken word poetry, and those are a lot of the things I was looking up, but I realized that I'd have to do a whole segment on just poetry. because it was intense. And I really wanted to look at youth poetry about love, and I just found myself going down all these different rabbit holes. But but I realized that like one of the things I was writing about in one of these pieces I was looking at from back when was the intimacy that I remember, like in a relationship that I was in. Like one of the things that I really cherished was those times that we had, like I said in the quiz, there was no one else around, there was no phones, no distractions, but we were able to just, it was usually like, time to go to bed. And it wasn't about like hitting the bed. That was like our safe place. Like I refer to it as like our bomb shelter. You know what I mean? It was like where we got a chance to like, the whole world got to be tuned out and it was just us, and it was a safe place to share. And the intimacy factor there started at just being able to communicate with each other in a way where you felt safe and secure and connected, right? Like there was nothing else there. There was no one else there. There was no other distractions. And it was a beautiful chance for us to just be, Jen, yeah, you got me like reading this comment, the rabbit's hole, but it was a beautiful chance for us to just exchange things with each other. You know what I mean? And, but it was, but yeah, the intimacy had nothing to do. Well, that was definitely a part of it. It wasn't just a physical thing. It was being able to communicate with each other and having that safety and trust, which was a big deal until it wasn't. and then it wasn't. But yeah, so it's it's one of those things, man, where you got to build your own level of intimacy and figure out what that is to you, and then go from there, right? And which is exciting. It's an exciting time to explore somebody and to really kind of figure out what they're all about, and investigate. Like Lou was saying earlier or Phil was saying about Lou, within 2 years, he spent 2 years. They've been married for 45 years, mind you. Is the couple that I talked to at the beginning of the show, Emily's couple, or Emily's parents out in Kenosha. But he said that within 2 years they met, and then but when he met, they were together for 2 years, dating, and then he popped the question. I was like, "What?" He was like, "Well, I just knew it that, I knew at that point that, she was the one, And anyway, I thought it was a beautiful thing. He knew for the next 43 years they'd be together, but he took 2 years to investigate in that person. And the thing that they figured out was that Joan, you can go over to you keep saying read the poetry. I'm not gonna do like a poetry reading here, but feel free. I think I have some of it. There is some of it posted online. You can go over to gypsymuse.blogspot.com, or is it blogspot.gypsymuse.com, and you can check it out if you want. Let me find it. Post a link if you want to check it out. I think it's on my Facebook page too, so if you want to go over there, you can find it. But it was about investigating someone's character, which I think is a big deal. And we talked about that. And like I said, the advice that I was given, or the counsel and coaching that I got from my loving mother, was that your character, or your personality will entertain, your character will sustain. And that's a big deal, because you can fall in love with someone's personality and fall right out of love with that personality pretty quick too, because that's just like a persona. You know what I mean? It's something that you're experiencing at that time. But the character behind the personality, the person that builds the foundation that character, that personality is able to perform from, is the real sustainable commodity. And that, I think, is what we really got down to, is that you need to look past someone's personality and look at their character. Well, what are they going to do in the times when things go bad? And one of the things we discussed was, you don't pick the problems. You don't pick the problems, you pick the person. So with every person you have, there's going to be issues. There's going to be problems. And that's the thing that I think people forget, that when things start getting sideways, when things start getting a little bit rocky, right? They bail, they jump ship, and they find another person. well, they're going to find new problems as well. Yeah, you got a new person. That's great. And it's exciting at first. And you have all the new kismet and all the twitterpation of somebody new. But you also have to then figure out as you go past that initial infatuation period, the rest of it. And the rest of it's the big part. The rest of it's the part that will figure out whether or not you got the juice in the tank to sustain for 45 years like Lou and Phil. And like I said, you can shade the person, you know what I mean? But you get a new set of problems as well. So what you do, what I've found, is you pick somebody that, you know, that you can go through the problems with. You know, you find someone that you can, that you can go through the trenches with, you know what I mean? Not somebody that's going to keep you out of them, but somebody that's willing to jump in there 2 feet deep and go through the fight with you. You know what I mean? And they're willing to stick it out. Like, you know, come hell or high water, it's you and me. Like, no matter what, like fighting, loving, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, it's you and me at the end of the day. We're going to get through this. And knowing that you can trust in that and have faith that the person isn't going to disappear on you based off of the content of the conversation you have. Like, oh, if this one doesn't go right, you know, I might lose my partner right now. And granted, there's a lot that goes into that. The decisions you make to get you to that point, the things that have gotten you to that place and why you're there. Right. But, it gets down to that point where, you find the person that you can really just, you can just drill it out with, you know, like, hey, we're going to fight through this and we're going to be better for it. And at the end of it, it's going to be you and me, you know? And, there's been plenty of times where I felt in a past relationship that, you know, I think that my partner, the girl that I was with at the time, didn't realize that, like, I didn't care about anything else. It was like, if there's something we're going through, like, we're going through it together because we're a team. Like, we're a Bonnie and Clyde in this, you know what I mean? Like, if we have to just turn the world out, you know what I mean? Or tune the world out, like, it's okay. We can do that. But as long as I know that you know, and you know that I know that it's you and me no matter what, you know? And, either way, yeah. DJ Tesseract over on Twitch, thank you very much. You're amazing, and you've been incredible at contributing on the Twitch platform and to the community. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's just hard to find people. What's wild is Lou was saying earlier, which is funny because that was my ex-fiance's nickname as well, because her middle name was Louise. So I called her Lou. But was that things were easier back before, you know, it was more accepted. It was socially pressured for you to get married. You know what I mean? And, it's, see, Ryan, well, you're welcome. I'm a billboard and you're going to get a lot of my personal life here because one of my name's on it. So hopefully you guys get a chance to get to know me. Emily Rose. Oh, Emily Carlini. Yeah, you did miss the little video. I'll send it to you. And, but, character and personality, getting back to that. Yeah. You know what? Actually, people keep asking me about my mom. I see that in the comments. And so, let's find out. Let's see what old mama has to say here. Where are we at here? And if she'll answer the phone, first of all. Could be a little late for her. I don't know.
Hey guys, just a moment. Let me just turn the TV down.
We got mom. The Dolly Mama. You got that right, Cindy. The Dolly Mama.
Okay, just a sec. Oh, darn.
Technologies runs in the family.
No, there.
Did you figure out how to work the volume?
There, got it off.
You got it off? You figured it out?
Yeah, I got it figured out.
Good.
I didn't even swear.
That's good because you're live on the show right now.
Oh my goodness. Well, hello everybody. Did you enjoy the snow?
I'm still dealing with it. I think the whole country is having to put up with the snow right now, but we got snow out here. We got snow.
I went sledding yesterday.
I saw a video, Mom, that you were sliding at. Was that at the little park by your house there?
They built a big mound of snow so we would have to kind of fly over it. It was really cool.
And you didn't get hurt.
No.
Dara, Cindy, everyone's saying hello, Mom. Yeah.
Hello.
Crystal says hi. Soya, everyone's saying hi. Yeah. So, So Mom, we are talking. Steph says hello as well. Stacy, Tammy, everyone's saying howdy. So yeah, you got a lot of fans in here, Mom. So
Well, I miss them.
well, you're connected to them through me, and we're all part of this. So that's good. That's good.
Absolutely.
So Mom, we're talking about love today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we've had a couple hours of conversation about it. And I'm curious. What's going on, Mom? Tell me about love. Tell me what is love to you, Mom?
Well, love is secondary. Number one is cherished. You can love anybody as long as they please you and do as you want. But when they don't, you don't love them anymore. Cherish is the higher step. Which means the whole being is accepted just the way it is. And it is a wonderful feeling. Plus, we cherish our children. They can be rotten little brats, but we cherish them. Our parents, when they're gone and we no longer have them, we cherish sweet memories we had of them. And brothers and sisters and companions, anybody can be loved as long as you're pleasing somebody. But you have to be cherished. And that's a very special gift to strive for.
Okay.
That's just off the top of my head.
Just off the top of the dome right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate that. Okay. What's the best advice in love? What's some important advice that you could give everybody?
On what kind of love? Is it a child love, husband love?
We're talking to couples. We're talking relationship love.
Couples. All right.
She said, all right, I'm ready for this. I know what's going on. We're dialed in. This I can handle. All right. Lay it on him, Mom. Tell him what's up.
Well, again, when you go into love, are you determined that you're going to make it work, even when it's bad? Because it will be bad. And then you have those wonderful roller coaster highs that kind of save it when you go down. But if there's something that irks you now, trust me, it'll irk you 3 times more after you're married. So is that irksome thing going to be okay? Because if it's going to be okay, then you can move right into cherishing them. Love couples have learned to compromise to the max. And maybe it's not compromise, it's collaboration. You win a little, you lose a little. And it's got to be something that, we're ribs, woman was taken from the rib of man. So that just shows how connected we need to be. And we've got to stop doing Hollywood love, which is, oh my gosh, I can't live without you. I instantly love you, and you fulfill every dream I have, and you're wonderful, and you're perfect. And then you get married and find out they're not perfect, and you're like, bad call.
Tell me about
Hollywood love sucks.
Tell me about a time when you fell in love, Mom.
Fell in love. I didn't ever fall in love. I chose to love somebody. Well, wait, I'll go back to Dan Pugmire.
Oh, she's dropping names, y'all. Dan Pugmire. You hear that? So you guys can go ahead and jump in if y'all want to go ahead and get into the history of my mom.
Well, actually, I just got done talking to him a couple days ago. He was my high school boyfriend. Yeah.
You just got done talking to one of your high school boyfriends a couple days ago, Mom?
Hey, all the guys I've enjoyed are my buddies.
Well, I love it. Let me tell everyone, hey, so you guys know right here, this is that link that you can go to if you want to check out some of the, it's a blog of mine. Go ahead and jump in there if you want to check it out. That's what that is. People keep asking. So keep going, Mom. Yeah.
I saw him do something tender and kind to somebody, and instantly I knew this was a person that I could afford to invest in and I wouldn't be harmed.
Oh, okay.
That allowed me the freedom to fall, or if you call it falling in love, but choose to love him. And it was beautiful and it was wonderful.
Do you remember how old you were then? Like what grade you were in? You said high school, right?
Yeah, I think I had just turned 16 because he kept bugging me to get my driver's license.
He wanted you to get a driver's license so you could drive him around?
Well, no, because I think my father said if you want to date her, you got to get her to get a driver's license because you got to drive her younger brother and sisters around.
Oh, did they go on the dates with you?
No. But they got to, I had to take him to, my seminary and to their ball games and blah, 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 all that stuff. But I had taken driver's ed at 15 and a half, and in those days, they were mean. He showed us a whole bunch of the driver showed us a whole bunch of bad accidents, made us memorize the parts of the car, made us learn in a stick shift, and our final exam was to drive downtown Seattle during rush hour traffic and to stop on hills and clutch so that you can try and get off the hill with the clutch, using the clutch.
That's cruel. Like, why would you? I still hate driving in Seattle on the hills.
Well, let me tell you, I went home and said to my parents, I'm not getting a driver's license. It's not cool. You don't get to roll down the windows and turn the radio up loud and just drive. You got to really work at this. I'm not doing it. So I think
And they made you do that in a stick shift?
Yeah, in a stick shift.
That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable.
15-and-a-half-year-old behind the wheel in downtown Seattle during rush hour traffic, who's scared to death, and the car behind them when she's trying to shift into gear to finish climbing the hill. That was mean. Pure mean.
What's funny is I think everyone in the comments is appreciating how much you are definitely my mom. Like, I asked you about a boyfriend in high school, and you're telling me about your driver's ed test. But okay, somebody asked Joan Govea, and sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Joan. Tell us about a time you fell out of love and why. And if you don't feel comfortable answering these questions, Mom, you do have to. Okay, good. So you don't have an option here.
Because again, love is conditional that you're being pleased by that person. And a boy showed that he had kind of weak character, not personality, because personalities can fool you, but character. And he did something really dishonest, and he was real proud of himself, and he told me about it. And I kind of grinned, but I thought, I can't trust you because you find it pleasurable to be dishonest. And so I felt very disappointed. I don't like to think that people enjoy harming other people and thinking it's cool.
Were you young when this?
I was young.
You were young?
I was young. And, I was about 19, just in college. And, you're still idealistic at 19.
Let me ask you, Mom, when you were younger, did you feel that your parents had a big influx or influence on what you were looking for in a boyfriend at the time? Or when you say, because you mentioned character a couple times, and I quoted you a couple times and people loved it, and I'll tell you which one that was here in a second, but or did you just kind of slowly kind of cultivate your own idea as to what you wanted in a partner through just life experience?
Well, I was too dumb to develop my own. So I definitely had a pattern to follow.
Right.
I knew my parents absolutely were loyal to one another.
Right.
And I knew they liked each other. You
Right.
can love somebody but not like them, but they liked each other. And I knew that was important, and it's like taking a breath. That's just the way it is. You have to be able to like the person and trust them.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about trust and communication, those being, and then having a firm belief, like a fundamental belief in God as the other part of that trifecta,
Absolutely. From square one, I watched them. We went to church after church after church. And so my father and my mother found one that they felt identified how they felt about God and Jesus. And that was a church they joined. And I was raised in that culture, which is a very a culture where you're encouraged to strive, to be better, to encourage others, take care of others. And so I assumed that every male that I liked would have those characteristics. But it wasn't true. And that hurt, to walk away from that kind of desire to be loyal to them and realize that they didn't have strong characters, that they could be bought off.
Okay. Wow. It's yeah.
Like if someone, even if they didn't do things on a normal basis, but if someone, paid them enough money or gave enough social pressure, they would give into it. So they weren't true to themselves, and that's not safe.
No, it's not. It's not. Like, and so The quote that you gave me at a very young age, that has carried, and it's coming up right now, is when you told me that a personality will entertain, but character will sustain. And that's something that we've been talking a lot about tonight, is that you can definitely fall in love with someone's personality, but it's really easy to fall out of love with the personality because that personality can change pretty quick. But if you're looking at it for the right reasons, if you're looking at the character as the foundation that you're looking to build that attachment on, that's something that'll sustain.
Yeah, personality is what we attract other human beings, and we form it to please the particular social group that we're trying to attract.
Yeah.
And that's sad because character's what it's all about. You know, what do they say? There was an old cliche that said, a diamond's nothing more than a hunk of coal that made it under pressure.
That is true. That is very true.
So that's, like I said, it'd be something simple. Like, for instance, if I'm walking with a guy down the street and the man in front of him drops money on the ground and we keep walking and that person keeps walking, and the man I'm with scoops it up and puts it in his pocket.
Yeah, you said my pocket there for a second. That was a different story.
No,
okay.
If he would put that in his pocket, right then I'm done with him.
Okay.
Because it's something that small that isn't really that important. If he can be dishonorable, just think if it was something big and important.
Sure. Yeah. Or if it was your money.
Don't choose to love someone when you're desperate. That is tragedy waiting to break your heart.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what was the worst advice in love you ever received, Mom?
The what?
The worst advice on love that you ever received. Can you think of any bad advice that you received?
Yeah, when they say, well, if it feels good, if it makes you happy, oh, please put my finger in my throat and let me barf. That is just horrible, because at the moment where we feel we're in love with the personality and we have all this belief in them. Honestly, if you want to know the truth about somebody, play board games with them. The real person comes out during board games.
Okay, you just said the wrong thing, lady. I'm gonna put you on blast right now. My mother, so you guys know, is the worst cheater at any game. She cheats more than anybody on the planet.
Well, I let you know right up front that board games are supposed to be fun, and the way to do it is to win by not getting caught cheating.
So you just said that the best way to figure out a relationship, figure out somebody's relationship, is to play a board game with them. So, and then you just said, I'm going to have to put you on the way to win at board games is to play as well as you can without getting caught cheating. You do realize how bad that sounds, right?
Oh, no, it's wonderful because it makes it clear the board game is just that, a game.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going now. Though I do remember.
People make it very serious.
Do you recall one time with I was with Lou at the time, and we were out at the Frankham's house. These are our family friends, y'all. And we were playing a couples board game. It was like a compatibility game for couples. And I caught my mom cheating with her. I don't know, I think you and Desmond were just married, probably. Or maybe it wasn't Desmond. I don't know. It was because you wanted to win. You wanted to win the most compatible couple in the room.
That's right.
It wasn't like Chinese checkers or something like that, because you are terrible at cheating at that too. So.
Oh yeah, I totally am. This is my example. There's a man and I that are, friends. I don't know what we're working on, but anyway.
What's his man's name?
Huh?
What do you mean, huh? What's this guy's name?
Well, I don't think they need to know that.
Bob's got secrets.
Anyway.
Okay.
We all got together and we played Yahtzee. No, it's a pretty simple game. You either roll the dice or you don't. Yeah, but you get to laugh and goof off and kind of help each other and say, oh, no, you can put that down as a this or that. But this man, the one thing he wanted to do, he didn't want to give up his chance. You know what? On the line, if you have a really bad hand and it doesn't fit any place else, you can put it under chance.
Okay.
But if you get a big high number and put it on chance, it can sometimes equal a Yahtzee. And he would work like crazy to make sure he didn't have to fill in the blank for chance. He wanted to be able to have that open. And that feeds right into the fact that he's very much into the stock market. And he has to make sure that he always has a way to get out if the stock starts to fall. Now, I wouldn't have known that until we played Yahtzee. And I said, why is that so important to you? And then slowly I was able to connect the dots.
Right.
There's people, I actually was at a game once where the smartest man in the room, what you do is you had a bag of beans, and if you could get anybody to say no, you got one of their beans. At the end, there was a big prize for whoever had the most beans. Well, the smartest man in the room, and he is, I managed to get a bean from him. He was so distraught, he went home.
Because you took one of his magic beans?
One of his beans. I got one of his beans. Some people, there's been several people that I've played board games with. It's very serious. Very serious. Their emotions are tied into the game. And that's the problem. Because somehow that game relates to something in their life. That's the best way to find out about people play board games.
Okay. Did you cheat to get him to give you a bean?
No. I just tricked him into saying no. He just didn't expect me to do it. And I walked up and he said no, and I put out my hand and said I get a bean.
He said, I'm going home.
He handed me the whole bag and left.
Oh, you got all of his beans.
Yeah, I won.
You guys hear this? Oh my God. Well, people want to know if you're available for advice after the show.
I gotta tell you how brilliant this man is. His son is Ken Jennings, who won in Jeopardy and is now one of the hosts.
Oh, so this is okay. So Ken Jennings, guys, if you don't remember, he was one of the most winning contestants on Jeopardy. This is his dad. That was one of my mom was going to date this guy, and which would have made Ken Jennings my brother.
No, because really his mother was smart too. She was real smart. She's the one that taught him about trivia, and that's what you win on Jeopardy with, is knowing trivia.
Yeah.
But anyway, board games. Play board games.
Yeah.
And you get a feel for people. You really will. And here's something else. When you date, and if you have a spiritual belief, I think you should pray often with your person that's special to you. And you find out, oh my gosh, you guys, you find out so much between prayer and board games.
All right. What was Ken Jennings' dad's name?
I'm not going to tell you.
Well, you know his son's name. His son's like the host on Jeopardy now.
This isn't just us talking around in the kitchen. You got people out there.
just a few thousand. You're all right.
But anyway,
yeah.
Board games and prayer.
Board games and prayer. Board games and prayer. That is sound advice, Mom, and I do appreciate it.
Well, the whole thing is this life is for us to have joy, not happiness, but joy.
Find joy.
And
you are correct.
If we can find someone to cherish and they cherish us, we have reached the greatest goal in this life, and that is to have joy.
Touche. Touche.
Yeah, that's all I got to offer.
Well, that's beautiful, Mom, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. You know what I mean? Put that on. Emily says you should put that on a T-shirt. Prayers and board games. We'll put that on a T-shirt as well, Jess. And then we'll throw the.
Just try it, and you will be. Even with a guy that you're not, or a girl you're not particularly interested in, but just try it, and you'll find out there's some little bit of character that comes out that may not be very pretty.
Yeah, she might cheat at board games, and then we'd have issues.
Well, it's okay as long as she tells you she's going to do it.
As long as I'm in on the con.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. As long as we're it's like a couples cheat session, we're okay.
Some people take board games extremely serious, and That's why you watch them, to see what kind of character evolves.
Well, that's yeah.
It's simplistic.
I've said this. You can tell a lot about a person whether or not you want to spend quality time with them, based off the way they treat their wait staff and the way they treat animals. And you know, if they're a total tool bag to like the waiter, cut them loose. I mean, cut anyone in the service industry, cut them loose. And if they don't know how to love an animal, like if they can't find themselves being patient with an animal, you know, just being engaging and friendly, then cut them loose as well. Those are two red flags for me. Gotta go.
Those are good. Those are really good.
Yeah.
Or
So
see someone drop money and they just scoop it up and don't say anything. It's all about character. Oh, you know what?
what's that, Mom?
I remember.
Oh, okay.
You took me fishing. You took me and you told me if I caught a fish, I'd have to kill it myself. So I worked really hard not to catch a fish, even though it was my first fishing trip.
Right.
Well, I caught a fish, and you kept saying, remember, Mom, you got to kill it. You got to kill it. And I was kind of reeling it in. But your friend, whose boat it was and was taking us out, he took the net, brought it in, snapped and broke its neck, so I wouldn't have to do it. That's character.
That was my buddy.
He heard me say I didn't want to do that, and you were saying I had to, and within a split second he made the decision and did it, so I wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Good old Billy George. You guys, I'll put his name out there. Love that guy. I haven't seen him in years and years and years, but he was a great friend growing up. And
that is someone I could trust, because he made a very important decision in a split second to keep me from feeling bad, and yet not upsetting the mood of the trip.
yeah.
In a split second, he made that decision. Just like the guy in a split second picked that dollar up. So, board games.
Board games and prayer. There it is. Well, I love you, Mom. I appreciate you jumping in here and hanging out with us for a little bit and explaining some of the finer nuances of life.
You guys are great. Just keep strong. Be bold. Not obnoxious, but be bold.
Be bold, not obnoxious, y'all. You heard it from my mom right there. All right, lady. I'm gonna let you go. I love you. Happy Valentine's Day.
I love you.
Okay. Bye-bye. So there's moms for you guys. That's the Dolly Mama, as I like to call her. Yeah, she's been, I mean, the lady is clutch when it comes down to like not unsolicited advice, and when it comes down to just things that you know, that I mean, I quote her more than anybody on the planet, which is wild because you know, she you know, I'm a big quote guy, but I always find myself quoting my mom, which is great because she's a good lady to quote. She's definitely got some stuff figured out. I mean, with me being 73, you can only imagine she's been around for a long time. A long, long time. Yeah. Excuse me. I clear my throat there. You know what's funny is this day and age, the second you do that, you have to explain it, but it's not COVID. I just tickle in the throat. Just so you guys know, just clearing my throat. What's funny is I was down at in Seattle, and we're walking by these tents. It was kind of on Capitol Hill, kind of post CHOP days, just after CHOP. And someone had like sprayed some pepper spray on accident inside one of these tents. And I walked by, and the person I was walking with, we both kind of like started like, you know, giving a little cough. And at the same time, we both looked at each other and like, it's just a tickle in the throat. It's nothing bad, nothing crazy. We both just started laughing. I was like, yeah, we both felt that we had to explain that to the other just to make sure you know that I don't have the Rona. And then we were both like, wow, our eyes are burned. Oh, it's pepper spray. We're good. It's not COVID. It's not the Rona. It's pepper spray. We're okay. Yeah. So Joan, here you go, Joan. I'll give you a little. This is one that pops up. It's called Ghosts. It says, sing with me, dance, cry, fall down, scream. Let me feel you, your rage and your loneliness, your adulation and torment. Euphoria and zen are your favorite yesterdays and the dread of your tomorrows. While you practice peace and balance and the world seems happy to indulge you, but you and I both know better. We have bled and bonded over abandonment. We have howled at a solstice moon and made love to our ghosts. I love that you are perfectly broken and that you confide your chaos in me. So that one's called Ghosts. So little snippet, Joan, of some of like the pieces that you'll find on my blog, from some of like the little poetry stuff that I've done in the past. But there you go. That was one of them. Anyway, but you can find over at the Gypsy Muse, GYPSIE Muse, MUSE, gypsymuse.blogspot.com. Anyways, yeah, you can't catch Rona through the TV. Good thing I don't have it, so we're okay. So yeah, we just hit the 3 hour the 3 hour mark, and again, I thought I'd be doing a 1 hour segment, and it never works out like that. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Kind of throw it in for the night. I know it's getting super late for some people. I got to work in the morning. You East Coasters, we're already into tomorrow. And for everyone in the Midwest, you got about 30 minutes to go ahead and cash in those chips before you hit the midnight mark. I love you guys. I appreciate the support too, for the stream here, for all the stuff we're doing out in the field. It just makes, it makes a big difference. So, all the contributions and the big things like the super chats and all that stuff and on YouTube, and then Twitch with the bits. You guys are incredible. And then Facebook, all the contributions there. You guys are amazing. I really do appreciate it. It makes a big difference. So thank you very much. Yeah, Tammy, 3 hours. I know it's crazy. It's been cool though. You guys, have been a good night. It's been really fun just talking to you guys about love and just kind of going through the runaround about, life. And my dog is coughing up a bone over here. What are you gonna do? But it's been good. It has been really good. I hope you guys have had an incredible day. You've enjoyed your evening. Thanks for hanging out with me. Find somebody that you love. Tell them so. And embrace the people you have in your life. Make some memories with them. And let's not wait for what is it, Sweetest Day in October or Valentine's Day here in February to tell people what we think about them. Let's try to make that our everyday thing. And again, I love you guys. Thank you for sharing the stream, for putting the word out, helping kind of broadcast this out to as many people as possible, and being a part of it. You know what I mean? It's all about this, this connection we have here. So I really, really do appreciate it. But I love you guys. Have a great evening and an amazing week. I'll be seeing you here very soon this week. We got some stuff coming up. Stay tuned for that. And until then, y'all, be good, or, we say be good at it. Love y'all.